Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave, and we are back for another week of Blades of Waterdeep, where we have all our cast members today. Here we are. Yay! So, some people were considering new characters over the week. We're a bit of a stressful time. We did leave off a little bit of a cliffhanger. I just don't know. I really just don't know how much I can stress don't get into combat with someone, but no, we'll see how it goes. We may be having new characters, we may not be. This may be the last time we'll be introducing the same characters in this intro here. So we'll go through the character most likely to die. Mr. Treant Monk, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes, hello, I'm Treant Monk, and for the first round of this combat, I will be playing Lucky the Trickery Cleric.
For the first round. Well, you do get death saves.
If he lets me go after I fall down, yes.
Okay, and the next one. That would be Nick.
Hello, I am Nick, and I'm playing Dandelion. It's the second episode of Dandelion, maybe the last. Pronouns, they, them.
Yes. And Dandelion, the squirrel. Just pointing out, currently squirrel form. And I think the third would have to be Bella with Esme.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm playing Beldoc Buckless. Perhaps for the last time. Hopefully not, but the halfling rogue, arcane trickster.
And Bozo, probably the least likely to die here.
Yep, only because I'm too big to fit in the window. I'm playing Castle, the human warlock.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. So just a quick shout out to Syrinscape for the audio and music and background noise that we have for today. Syrinscape is both online and offline online, offline role-playing audio. You can play it on a tablet, or on a phone, or on a computer. There's specific modules, like the specific sound sets you can use, or there's just non-specific sound sets you can use. You can subscribe or just buy individual sets. There's a lot of different options there, and for Dragon Heist, for Waterdeep Dragon Heist in D&D 5th edition, there's a specific Dragon Heist specific Dragon Heist sound set. So,
you ever heard of Grimvault? You want to meet my greatsword?
There we go. That's what we're using today, and it's I find it really great. I'll just turn off 3 strings because it gets annoying after a while. We've also got another thing above us. We've got the little numbers. They're currently 0. If you donate to the channel with the colour of the number, or the colour of the colour of the character's token, or even just the character's name or the player's name, I don't mind. But if you donate $5 indicating which one, that person gets a chat dice, which is a D10 to use whenever they need. There can be a attack roll, a saving throw. I don't know if you'll allow it for a death saving throw, but we may. Maybe. You can also do the same thing for myself, but that'll cost you $10. So as GM or Goblin, Karsh, or even just the colour black, and I get a chat dice to really punish the characters when I think it's needed. But it will cost you double the amount. So I think that's about everything. And let's get back into as the scene opens. As the scene opens, we have Lucky in the back of a tavern, in the kitchen, going, "Shh, we're being quiet," and with Dandelion as squirrel form sneaking through, and then out the front of the kitchen, the adversary that they're trying to hide against, Maloon Dragon, the Mountain of a Man, the wielder of Azure Edge, which is the defender of Waterdeep, says, "Yes, you should be quiet." And he walks into the kitchen. Bella runs from the window from outside to the back door to try to get in. Cassel is looking through the window and can see this happening. We're not in initiative, but we're about to be. So, shall we go into initiative? Shall we roll it up?
Might as well.
So it's a bit hard to do your tokens. Oh wait, we're probably in the... What we'll do, we'll actually load into the other screen for you. So you can click on your tokens and just move across there, because we're not actually... We don't have a map for this. There you go. So you go to the screen, so if you just click on a token, on your token and click the... There you go. And let's see if I can find my named NPC here.
Oh,
There we go. So we got a few ones here. We got Lucky with 21. Bozo's got 16. Ursa May 8, and Dandelion Nick with 2. And let's see what we get with Maloon War Dragon. And as with most combats, I do try to make sure you can see auras and bits and pieces. So Maloon is equal with Lucky. Lucky, how lucky do you think you are?
Pretty darn lucky.
Okay, so do you want high or low?
Definitely high.
High, okay. So we're going to re-roll as a case of, this is a instant death situation where if one of these persons hits, can be an instant death. So we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So high means you go first, low means he goes first.
Okay.
Okay. And public roll, there we go. Oh, there he goes. Woo! He goes first. No, you go first. So we'll order this in descending order, but you will be slightly ahead. You go first. There we go. You have Dandelion with you as Squirrel's form, also giving you a sister action, or giving you distracting, I think was the idea of what, But that can be changed. You can change that at any time when it comes to your order.
How far is the window from me?
How far is the window? It's actually not too far away, but it is. You have to climb. You have to jump up onto the counter and then through the window. So it's about 10 foot, in theory, of movement to get out.
Okay. How close is Maloon to me? Is he in melee range or?
He's about 10 foot. He's not in melee.
Okay. Great. Okay, so what happens is Lucky looks panicked for a moment, and Maloon could swear he's seeing double because two Luckies appear. One of the Luckies goes running into the bar, and the other Lucky goes diving out the window.
Okay. I don't know how to play this because it's like, is this an illusion? This is a pure illusion, isn't it? So starting at first level, you can choose a first level domain, Lucky Trisha.
Oh no, sorry, that's the wrong. I clicked the wrong one.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is in fact this one that I did.
Okay, invoke duplicity. I've never seen this one. Yeah. So, starting at second level, you can choose, blah, 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 blah. As an action, you can create a perfect illusion of yourself that lasts for 1 minute. Or until you choose, until you lose your concentration. Appears in unoccupied space, that's no problem at all. Bonus action, for the duration of spells. Okay, so what is it? For the duration of the spell, you cast spells through the illusion space. I'm just trying to figure out mechanically here. What's it do for you? Additionally, you get advantage on attacks. Is that?
Well, I can use it to flank to get advantage on attacks. That's of course not what I'm doing now. I'm just using it as a double for the moment.
Okay, so this is the first time I've ever seen this spell. This is a brand new one to me. I like it. So, as one runs through, essentially through his legs, to get to the bar, because he's standing in the doorway of the kitchen, he takes a swipe at it.
Yeah, it'll just slide right through.
Well, he still gets an attack of opportunity. He'll try.
Sure.
As he brings Azure Edge up, and then let's see if we've got a couple of things to do here. This is the fun part. Okay, and then yeah, so he brings his Azure Edge up, and it actually comes down, and would have hit if that is you.
It didn't. No, I went through the window, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. He comes down as the illusionary double of you runs through his legs. He brings the axe down between his legs, as if chopping a tree, and hits the double in the back, sending it into the bar itself. As you jump out the window.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
and I believe I have Dandelion with me, right? Was Dandelion crawling on my shoulder?
Dandelion was on you, yep.
Yeah, so Dandelion is coming with.
That makes that. Castle, as you see this, you see two essentially two luckies split. And one's jumping out the window at you, and the other one runs into the bar and gets hit by a Maloon. Maloon actually isn't really focused on that. He actually seems to be watching something else. Can you do an insight, please?
I would love to do an insight.
Yeah. It's more, when he did that strike, it was more out of habit or an instinct. He's not looking at the lucky that went through the window. He's not looking at the lucky that went through his legs. But he seems to be watching something outside the building, and he's turning, watching this thing as it moves.
Would it be feasible? I guess it's his turn. So.
And he starts walking into the bar and out of view.
Okay.
And now it's your go.
All right. Everyone is outside the window, right?
Everybody except for one. Whoa! God, that's always scary. Hello, Frostdale. Thank you for the host. Welcome into the game. We've only just started. We're currently facing Maloon War Dragon. Or what once might have been Maloon War Dragon. We don't really know. Yes?
So everybody except for who is outside the building?
Well, everybody's outside the building, but Bella is running around the back.
Okay. All right. So is she within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay. I will use Awakened Mind to tell her to come back. Lucky got out. We're getting out of here. I will turn to the squirrel form of Dandelion and Lucky, and I'll say, let's get out of here. And I'm just going to turn and I'm going to back up and start going since I can't see a dragon. So, yeah.
Bella, what would you like to do?
Well, if I heard Castle say that, I'm just gonna start rushing back to where they were and just.
Yep. As you're rushing back, as you're running round the outside, and you're running back, you can feel like a presence looking at you, although from the inside of the building. It just this dark presence, like, knows that you're there and was watching you as you're running both to the door and then away from the door.
That's unsettling. I didn't do anything to you yet.
Yet?
Well, I didn't try to. I'm not one of the ones who tried to get into his mind.
Well, it wasn't into... Well, we left with... Sorry, the first encounter was trying to get into its mind, then trying to get into the Blade's mind, try to communicate with. So it's a bit of... It's only 2, not everybody.
Yeah. Well, 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4, half. Dandelion in squirrel form, what would you like to do?
Dandelion leaps off of Lucky and goes bounding after Cassel and climbs up onto his shoulders. Like, yeah, let's go. Just patting their little paws, like, come on, hurry up. Yeah, what can I do? But can't understand me because it's a bunch of squirrel cheepings.
Probably don't notice. Too panicked. Gotta run. Gotta go.
And Lucky?
Well, here's the thing about Lucky.
He's brave.
he sees Castle. And he's like, I think everything's okay. And then he starts sneaking around. He wants to see if he can see in through the bar.
Oh boy.
Yes. This is why we play D&D.
So you go around to the front. You go around to the front of the bar.
Yeah.
So there's windows in the bar, and so are you going to go to the front door? Are you going to go to the windows, or
preferably the window? I just want to be able to see in.
Yep. Okay. So actually, are you doing it stealthily, or are you doing it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to be sneaky.
Please roll a stealth roll.
Sure. And I think I will use inspiration.
So remember, Esme, how I said that you felt a presence knowing where you were? Mm-hmm. Even using inspiration, even if you got a 20, wouldn't have done anything. It knows everything within a certain radius. The presence of people within a certain radius. So as you go to you sneakily creep up to the window, and there in front of you in the window is Maloon Wardragon looking at you, looking down at the window from just on the other side of the window.
He's right there.
Yeah, he's right there.
Do I get any actions, or is that the end of my round?
No, you can choose to get out of there. It wouldn't have taken all your movement.
Okay, then I will back away from there and go, he's right at the window. He's creepy.
There's just no sense of urgency in your voice.
When he backs away from the window, it's not like he jumps. He backs away and turns around.
He's right there.
He's right there.
He's right there. Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
This could have been so much different from one different role. One different role. Your initiative is the same as his. So It could have been very, very different. I did look at the damage for the axe, and you've got 14 hit points. D12 is the damage for the axe plus 5, and that's 1 out of 4. Could have been very different, very, very different with a different initiative. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We have forgotten something. I think that's Bozo, was that you sending a message?
It was me.
Yeah.
Just the
normal
weekly
message.
reminder.
Oh,
Treant.
sorry.
There we go.
Tall people
Halfling
are not
cam.
welcome.
It's not a racist thing here. It's just a case of you started this, so we're going to push you to continue.
No,
It's a
I
highness
totally
thing.
agree.
for me.
I just forget. It's a good thing Bozo's here to remind me every week.
Yeah. I didn't see the message. I saw the thing that there is a message there. I was like, I know what that message is. Know what
Gotta
that
have
is.
consistency.
Yes.
Yes, very important. So we can clear. Like, he doesn't chase you. He doesn't leave. And you're just left there, walking away or running away, depending on how much panic you have.
Oh, no panic.
Well, no panic for Lucky, that's for sure.
I'm just clinging onto Cassell, so I'm going however fast he's going.
I'm
Pretty
probably
fast.
like halfway between them and keeping an eye on Lucky. Like, Lucky, we gotta go. We gotta go.
I am getting pretty hungry.
Well, there's a bar just back there you just left.
Are you-
Yeah, but it was closed.
We did just leave
Bart-
the kitchen.
The bar keeps a little grumpy.
So where are you heading in Waterdeep?
What
Well,
time
it's-
of day
It's
is it?
middle of the night. I think we went there at the middle of the night on purpose, right?
No, it was actually
Oh.
during the day because it was cleared out
Okay.
earlier. It was emptied because no one wanted to go back. So you're in Delsoon and Holtover Street, or Slutherweed Lane. It's not far from the market, not far from Blackstaff Tower, which has a few taverns around. Or there's the House of Moon, which has got a few taverns around in Seaward as well.
I'll tell these guys. So I spoke to the axe in its mind, and it says Maloon that he's dead, and it said to help. It asked for help.
Yeah.
I think we should help.
Yeah. I will retcon it. It says the Maloon's mind is dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to read a different thing, and it's like, yeah, it's actually his mind is dead, not. Yeah. The body's still actually alive and functioning.
Okay. So
Just
I'll
fighting a
mention it.
zombie.
His mind is dead, and he's obviously taken over by something bad, because the axe is sad.
Yeah. The axe is sad, huh?
Yeah. The sad axe.
All right.
So where are you headed? What are you doing?
If we're gonna go help, we should probably inform some sort of higher authority. So I don't remember who gave us this quest.
Oh, it's the
Or this
Greybeards.
job. The Greybeards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should go talk to him.
Which I say now out of squirrel form, but still clung to your shoulders. Just like it was the Greybeards. Oh yeah, sorry.
We haven't got the strongest of party members here. Cassel, are you able to carry?
Oh, it's a squirrel. Come on.
Out of
Now,
squirrel
Morgan,
form.
I was a squirrel.
Morgan is question. Oh,
I was a squirrel. Then I became a person again.
Still holding
So
onto
I
your
could
shoulders.
speak.
He's going
oh,
down.
that would. I'm gonna roll a strength saving throw to see if I can
Yep.
stay on my feet.
Yep. From the sudden increase in weight.
Oof. Looks like I skinned my knee and you just went,
Yep.
whoop.
The instant
I got
piggyback
COVID,
ride.
Sorry. I hope you.
Yeah. We don't have the strongest of party members. So strength 9, piggyback rides, not easy.
I mean,
Well-
I'm not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Bella's the strongest of us.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the strongest. I mean, unless Dandelion has more strength, but
Who knows?
I have +2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about the same strength.
Okay.
But that also depends on the
Not as
shape.
dexterous though.
Dandelion can be a different shape as well, so that could really super increase that. So are you heading to try the Greybeards?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say, oh, you have to go through the process of trying to find them and meet them. You can find them, it's no issue with that. So we'll skip to another tavern. This one a bit more populated and a bit more lively. And there's food on the table, there's drinks already on the table. And you're now in a meeting with your contact, Mr. Price. So you're saying what is the problem?
So we Maloon has been very violent and clearly distressed, as you've been saying. And we went back for a second look after doing some research. And Lucky here was able to contact the blade that he carries, and the blade said,
And his mind is dead. And it asks for help. So something's taken over his head. I'm sorry.
So something's taken over his head. That explains the weird behaviours and the. Did you fight him? Did you encounter?
He attacked us, but we got away. And then he was going to attack us again, and then we got away again.
I tried to warn you not to. He was a competent fighter beforehand.
Yeah, we never fought him. He kept trying to fight us, so we ran away. Should we not have run away? Should we do something else?
No. You should not encounter him, that's for sure. We'll have to find someone that can actually encounter him and try to take him on. Maybe
Good luck
several.
with that.
The bartender at the yawning portal looked pretty good.
But Durnan Durnan's a veteran as well, but I think Durnan's long retired. Long retired. His group retired many years ago, and there's rumours that some of them are some of the hidden lords of Waterdeep, but I don't think they're going to be active to help out. May have to contact the Black Staff. With Azure Edge in someone else's hands or something else's hands, she may help. But yeah, thank you for the information. It's quite distressing. He's one of the, or he was one of the higher ups in our organisation. Yes, thank you. Is there anything I can do? Anything else?
I don't think so. If there's anything else we can do to help, let us know.
Well, you're getting a name for yourself from a few people, so I've heard rumours that there's people looking to employ some people as your kind, as adventurers. So you may be contacted in coming weeks or days.
And Bella hears in her head, he called us adventurers!
Oh, God. And then suddenly a fist bump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be cautious. Not everybody has the city's. They may think that they've got the city's best interests at heart, but it's not always for the city's benefit. So just be cautious. That's all I can say. There's also a lot other factions which are definitely only for their own wantings. We hear that there's something else moving about the city, which we're trying to confirm, but there's rumours of other presences. So just keep an eye out and be careful.
Really? What kind of presences?
Yes, do you have any names that you could give us?
Oh, presences. I thought he said presents.
We fear the return of the Shadow Guild.
Shadow Guild?
The old Thieves Guild. There's always been rumours that they never really went, that they just went into hiding. Some of the guards, or some of the guards have turned a blind eye over the years. Some of the gangs have had influence where they shouldn't have, or have been provided weapons where they shouldn't have. In more recent weeks, we think that there's several factions trying to upset the gangs, especially in the docks and the Troll's Yard. Field Ward. We think there's other things going on. Just be cautious. Be careful.
About this Shadow Guild thing, what were they like before? That they were around?
They were mostly assassins. They operated very quietly. Rumour is that they actually operated for some of the hidden lords of Waterdeep to keep things in order, and they got out of control. So they were banished, they were taken out, they were raided, they were hunted down. It was believed that they got everybody, but with an organisation, who really knows?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start drinking.
There's also rumours of other groups. Something about other groups of doppelgangers, but this is not an easy one to get any evidence of. But people impersonating and working their way into organisations, into places of power, and that was the suspect of Maloon. We thought Maloon may have been a doppelganger, which is why we asked you to check him out. But it looks like something even worse, maybe, has been afoot. But at least his body is still there. We may be able to bring him back if we can. But yeah, so there's other things. And of course the Red Sashes are working against us. They think they've got the best interests of the city. But anyway, there's politics and politics. Politics in the shadows, I should say. Yeah, enjoy the meal. I've got to be off. I'll pay up front. Please don't order any more on my tab. And he looks down to Lucky and Bella when he mentions that one. And Dandelion, welcome to the Greybeards. I think you'll do quite well.
I'm eager.
This is certainly a weird group. I'm sorry for putting you with them, but don't look at me like that,
I
Bella.
think I've assimilated them quite well.
Don't look at me like that, Bella. We know your actions, we know your history. You and Lucky. And Cassell. We know you all. We know you probably better than most people.
Well, you're the one that hired us or let us join.
We have lots.
What does that say about you?
Yes, you have lots of friends, Lucky. It's good. Friends are good, but just be careful of their aims.
Some of them will even buy me a second course.
Well, I'm not one of them, I'm sorry. Our money's spent on working for the city.
If you knew me so well, you would know how hungry I am.
But we also know how resourceful you and Bella are in paying for those meals.
It'll all work out.
Right. Cassell, thank you for trying to help in the field ward. I've heard about that as well. Reports have come in. Field ward is one of those areas which is almost lost, but as long as they don't hurt... It's everyone out for themselves. It's going to change. It's less violent than the docks, at least. So it's less of a concern.
Oh, I appreciate the kind words.
So, yeah, good luck on your ventures. As I said, I hear there's other groups that have been hearing about your activities, for good and ill. And good luck in the opening of the tavern, whenever that's going to be.
You guys have a tavern?
Yeah, I think maybe you met us there. Or wasn't that?
Oh, that was a tavern? I just thought it was a
Yeah.
rundown building we were hanging out in.
It is. It's both those things.
Awesome.
It's
I'm
actually
excited about this.
surprisingly less run down than it looks. Like, they've revamped it pretty quickly. It's just like all those broken windows. Just there's not a crack. You're just wiping away all the cracks and the mending spell all the time, constantly. Lots and lots of them.
You got lucky.
You got Timur on your side. So where are you going for the rest of the day?
Tamora was on my side.
Gotta get a Taishe coin at one stage. The original god of good and bad luck. So it's about afternoon. Where are you heading off for the rest of the day? Or are you going to stay there and just drink and...
Do we have anything we're working on besides the tavern?
The nimble right, but we're not going to take a full day to check
No.
that out.
We could just go back to the tavern and do cleaning.
You guys could tell me about the nimble, right?
Oh, we haven't done that?
No! I am assuming
Well-
that you're carrying the... Like, as you're travelling, you're carrying the umbrella. The wand and
for
umbrella.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, eventually I will ask, what's that?
Okay. And Dandelion's sharing drinks with us. So at this point, they've heard the entire history of the group. Because Lucky and Bella love to talk.
Awesome. I'm
Well,
taking notes
especially
of all of
Lucky.
this too.
Yeah.
I have a little notepad and it's just filled with little doodles and just notes taken down of all of the things that happened today. But when you guys talk about nimble rights, I say, oh, hey, I know some nimble rights. They were on the ship that I was on when I came here from Joel.
Oh, I think we might have been on that ship.
Oh, you were? I didn't see you.
Well, I was on two different ships, and they both had nimble rights.
Which one
You
were
were-
you on?
You were in a barrel on two different ships, for the most part.
Ah,
Yeah,
Why-
but I was on the ships.
Now I gotta try to figure out the names of the ships to help you out, and I can't remember them.
It was
I know which one I was on. The one with the animals, which I think was the Heartbreaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
I took care
yeah,
of the
we were.
animals.
There we go. So the Heartbreaker is the animals one, and... What's wrong buttons? I've moved all my maps all the way around because I'm not going to be using them again, hopefully. And the Hellraiser is the other one. So Heartbreak and Hellraiser.
Oh, no, yeah, my boss, he got them from like Lantan. Was it Lantan?
Linton.
He got them from Lantan. Where'd you guys get yours? Or are you trying to find something? Find
Trying to
yours.
find one,
Right.
but it came
Sure.
from the Temple of Gond.
Oh, interesting.
It was created by a different Nimblerite, which is troubling for those at the temple. So we are promised a pretty penny if we manage to track down the Nimblerite that's running amok.
Well, I don't know if my boss would know anything about this specific Nimble Ray, but I do know he has a lot of friends. So maybe one of his friends might know something. Or, I don't know, you just treat us to a free meal or something. He's very rich.
I think we should see if any of his friends know anything.
We go meet him.
Will he treat us to free drink?
Oh, absolutely. It comes in with the whole dinner plan.
Yeah.
He loves the party, I think.
Oh boy.
I don't actually know if anybody's ever met him or not. I hear a lot of stories though. He throws some really good shindigs.
He likes shindigs.
They really do like shindigs, don't they? Yeah, it's like, yep, they do. Yep. So I'm just going to move something because I've got something for this, but I didn't have anything prepared, but I can do this on the fly. It is late afternoon though. Well, it's afternoon, getting into late afternoon by the time you're drinking and eating for your lunch, and then your second season, your third season, whatnot. And Bella, you do have a pressing arrangement that night.
Yes, I do.
So, what would you like to do? What would you like to direct the party for?
I mean, maybe we should, hang around home, like maybe at least like get home by evening, perhaps.
Well,
why would we want to get home by evening? We're never home by evening.
Well, you know those people.
You know what's happening
that guy was mentioning?
Do I know what?
You know those groups that what's his name was mentioning?
Yes.
Yeah. And they're kind of the reason I got out of jail so quick.
Which ones? The doppelgangers?
No, the shadow ones.
Oh. That was nice of them.
Yeah, that was really nice. They kind of want me to do something tonight.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be fun?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of have to plant something at the at the newspaper place.
Will it harm people?
Plant potatoes?
Will it harm people?
I mean, no. It's stuff about the Black Network and also those nobles.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
You guys can do that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What it is?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I have errands to run, and Castle just kind of walks away awkwardly.
Dandelion's super curious about what this is. Like, so what's this thing you have to plant? I love planting things. I'm a druid. It's kind of my thing.
Take inspiration, please. Actually, all of you take inspiration. I'll explain why. Castle for saying no.
Oh, I need it I needed to chase down more pilfering peasants.
Yes, but just for saying no, because you know it's going to be illegal. The planting, I love planting things. Yes, absolutely. Just everything. Yeah, I'm just loving this.
Do you want to come, Dandelion?
Absolutely. I'm also kind of curious what it is we're going to be planting.
Yeah, what are we going to be
require
planting?
certain requirements for planting.
Can we take a look?
I'll take it. I'll kind of like look around and then take out the papers. I mean, we're not planting plants. I have to plant these papers and not in the dirt.
Well, if you think about it, these papers were at one point plants.
I mean, true.
So indeed, we are planting plants.
I will take a look at the papers.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Did we lose Karsh?
No, I'm still here, so.
Okay.
I,
So we forward to the evening then, apparently. Castle tucked up in the manor.
I do have one errand to run.
Oh yes, more fish.
No, fish. I have the fish. The fish part of the plan is so far complete. I do need to pick up a type of wood, probably some juniper. But if I can't find juniper, I think ash will do nicely.
Still no idea on this plan. Really no idea on this plan.
Yep, you'll see. You'll see.
There's woodworkers just up the street. There's no issue finding wood.
Perfect. I'm going to get some of the higher quality, straighter pieces, and also the most crotchety pieces I can find. I'm assuming that doesn't cost too much. So
No, it really doesn't. Copper,
Alright.
like depending on how big, like yeah, between like 5 copper and less.
all right, sounds good.
I mean, worked wood could be in a silver, but yeah, I've got no idea.
All right. I'm assuming they'll be gone for a while.
You can assume possibly that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are you
I'm
doing
gonna-
while they're going?
Yeah. We have a fireplace, right?
You do? In most rooms.
Sweet. I'm going to go to the one in the room that's been visited the least.
Wow, that's like trying to think in the manor where pretty much everyone sleeps in the same room. There's the attic bedroom, which is probably the one I think is probably the. We'll go across the map and we'll have a look at the rooms.
Yeah, probably the attic bedroom or this spare room that's next to the other bedroom on the second floor.
But that's a shared house as well. Or almost.
It doesn't it doesn't make too much difference to me, to be honest, which one I burn it in.
Yeah. I'd say the attic bedroom would be the least used. Fireplace.
So I'm going to take the juniper and the wood and the silk, and I'm going to burn it until I get just ashes. Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm going to take all my little fish. I'm going to stuff them full of ash. Okay.
Got fish
Yep.
ash.
I'm going to put all the fish in the keg, and then I'm leaving.
So you burned wood.
Yep.
You turned it
and
into
silk.
ash, and then silk, and then you put it into fish, and you put the fish into a barrel.
Yeah, my small little keg that I've acquired. Yep. And then I'm going to go south to the dock ward.
Yep.
And I will place the keg in front of my previous house of residence. And then I'll walk back to the manor.
Okay.
That's it.
No idea. What's going on here? As the GM, this feels really weird, but I don't mind it. It's different. Okay. Is it good luck? Is it
Scroll
bad
through all
luck?
the
Is
spell
it?
components.
I'm thinking spell components, but I don't mind. This is interesting. We will all find out together.
Yep. I'll let you guys wonder for a while.
and he looks down on us for our law-abiding ways while he's doing weird stuff.
There's no rules against it. No
No.
laws against it.
Cursing.
It's my place of residence.
I don't know. I will say in other games when I've been a player in Waterdeep campaign, we had people doing sacrifices to outer gods, trying to bring them back. Yeah, this is mild. This is quite mild.
His sacrifice was in the form of bought fish.
Yeah,
Yep. Salted fish stuffed with ash.
and silk.
Yeah, and silk.
Yeah.
Well, he burnt the silk,
I
but
burnt the silk too.
Okay. Oh well, we'll see how that goes. We'll find out what it is actually later. So, what time are you approaching the Waterdeep Wazoo? Business hours or after business hours?
after business hours. I mean,
That was kind of a guess that you were going to do that.
yeah. I don't think I could talk my way in there.
Generally not.
We've had a
You
short
could
rest.
scout it out for us.
You can have a short rest. That's no problem about that.
Alrighty. Woohoo.
X marks the spot. As in the building down here. Oops, wrong button. Building down here is the Waterdeep Wazoo.
We can't see it.
Well, I'm just saying it's down there. But it's nighttime,
Okay.
you can't see. Because it's dark.
Are there in
Actually-
Waterdeep? Do they light the streets?
Yeah, I'm just putting the lighting on now.
Good, it's a big city.
I know, but actually, no. I'm just going to give you. It's like, do I give you dark vision or do I not? I'll give Casal dark vision. And
You
emanating
can cast
light.
dark vision.
Well, no, just like emanating light, and use him as a beacon almost. Because when you get inside of places, that's when, yeah. You won't actually have that. There you go. Everyone should be able to see there.
I don't think Castle's coming with us. I think he
No,
said
but then you
specific-
couldn't see the map either. So I'm just going to move Castle to give everyone as a beacon for lighting and whatnot.
I see. He represents streetlights.
Yes,
Just imagine I'm watching over your guys' shoulder.
yes. As he should always be.
Silently judging us.
Not so silently. Not so silently. So you're in the North Road, and you're close to the actual wall, to the edge cliff. It's like a lot of buildings here. A lot of them are function. There's a lot of work buildings more than anything. So the one's directly south to you seems to be like a rooms for rent and board and etc. The room above calls itself a hall, but it's essentially it looks like it's boarded up and locked and not used anymore. And there's other small residences here as well, and to the back. You're not even moving on the
Okay.
map.
Well,
I still can't see anything, but I tell you guys that I could turn into a small insect and scout out the area, map it out for you guys.
Yeah, but that takes time. We'd be bored.
I mean, do I see many people about?
No, it's quite quiet tonight. There's people
Alright.
every now and then. You've noticed on the streets around. You hear people and you see people, but they're paying no heed to you so far.
By the way, I would have asked, where exactly are we supposed to plant this information?
Is on the editor's desk, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this is the building here. And from this side of the building, you can't see any doors or entrances. You notice this part down below is actually like a raised walkway between the two buildings. So you can actually go underneath that.
Okay.
So you can actually,
Well,
so you can go underneath it.
I assume if no one's looking, well, right there, then I'll start heading down there.
Oops, wrong button. Can you see now, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. For some reason, the cannot see was not ticked. Also, it was your character token could not see for some reason. So as you're going through this area here, there's a couple of windows. Just trying to zoom. Oh man, sorry. My zoom out went way too far, and then I'm trying to adjust. There you go. So, yep. So there's a couple of windows here and here on the building currently.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear where you clicked.
Where did?
Oh,
There.
okay.
There and there. There's a couple of windows. And the bottom side of the building is not lit. As in there's no light coming from there.
Okay.
Should we go in one of these windows?
I don't see why not.
I don't see anyone around. I think no one can see us.
Yeah.
How high up is the window?
About 5 feet off the ground.
Well, if I put you on my shoulders, maybe you can reach it.
I just lift up one of you and put you towards the window.
Oh wait, be careful. That's racist.
Yeah, you got to ask first.
Yeah.
Apologies. I will put
Cons-
my hand on in front of you so you can step on my hand, and then I'll lift you.
All right, yeah, that's far more respectful.
hmm
I'll throw a guidance on Bella, and I'll let her. She's better at the
Yeah.
rock picking stuff.
I'll also note that the building's 2-story, and the building on the other side's 2-story.
Okay. So, thieves' tools. I assume to unlock it.
Yep. Try and lock the window. You think that there's more of a latch
also.
system behind that you're trying to get into and move.
I would also like to cast Dark Vision now, so I can see.
Ah. And how much vision does that give you?
60 feet.
So I'm guessing 60-30. There you go.
Yeah, the 60 is the maximum.
Yep. I'm just guessing it's like the normal 60-30 dark vision-ish thingy. Yeah. Either way, you got dark vision. You can now see without Castle's help. So can we get a thieves? Oh, we have got thieves talk. I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
So thieves tool 19, and you pick the lock. It's more like move a latch out the way from the inside. You get your thieves tool underneath and just like move it around and adjust it, and you think you can open up and move in.
Okay.
So you're going to climb in?
Mhm.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up another section of this map for you. So
And I assume I can't see in there, so I'm going to take out one of my daggers and cast light on it.
okay, so light spell, no large. You got 20 foot by 20 foot, so 40 foot 20. That's wrong sheet. So we got both. I've got two maps side by side. and that's what we're working off. And all players can see that. So light starts emanating from inside.
I don't see anything.
Well, you don't.
That's-
But light's starting to come out of the window that Bella just climbed through.
Okay. I will follow her into the window. Dandelion, give me a boost.
Put my hand out so you step on it, and then lift.
Okay. I reach all the way up the 5 feet. And in.
And then I will turn into a spider and crawl through.
Okay. So you're all inside. We're on this side of the map now.
Okay, we need to find the editor's desk and replace the papers.
So,
Oh, are there papers we got to get rid of too?
Yeah, they have something they're gonna write. We're supposed to put these in their place, so they write this instead.
Okay.
so can I get a search or insight, or essentially insight or perception, either one? As you can now look into the room and
Whoops, I do not have advantage. Sorry.
that's okay. I think you'd rather the first one anyway than the second.
Yeah.
So there's a few desks here, and there's lots of scattered tables and whatnot, but there's not really anything that looks prominent. You don't think that the editor's desk would be where all the general layout stuff is done on the first floor. This looks like more of a work area than somewhere.
Are these stairs right there?
There are stairs at the back of the room, yes.
And they're going up?
Yes.
Okay, I think we got to go upstairs.
I would also like to say that I'm a small jumping spider.
Specifically on jumping, is that?
Yeah, I'm a jumping spider. One of those little jumping spiders, like crawling.
Okay.
Well,
Actually, I'll be picking up the spider and putting it on my hat.
So we'll cross on over to the other side of the map now. So back on the other side of the map, where can I get a stealth roll, please?
yeah.
That's from everybody too.
And it's still.
Ooh, we got a 22, a 25, and there's still a stealth roll
I
required
thought-
for the jumping
yeah.
spider, but I'll give you an advantage.
Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah, I was looking for what spider stealth is.
Well, there's just roll your own stealth with advantage because you're very small and stealth.
Now, what would have been bad is if he did the worst out of all of us.
Okay.
I'm the
So-
loudest spider on earth.
You're the loudest spider on earth with a 15. So as you're getting up here, you're sneaking up the stairs, and there's a little bit of creaking, and like you're really, really soft on the stairs to avoid the creaking. And as you get up and your light starts shining up this top here, there looks to be a desk in the corner. There's a table in the other corner with a hearth, and you can just see the door open to a bedroom, and you can hear the sounds of someone snoring in the bed.
Oh boy.
Actually, you'll both hear in your head.
And there's a desk here. So there's not a desk there. That's the actual wardrobe-y stuff. It's not a desk.
Are there any other doors in this room?
There's
Yeah,
windows, top and bottom.
So,
And-
where's the desk?
So that's not a desk. That's more of shelves.
Okay, so I don't see a desk.
No. And the doorway is open to the room.
I'm going to peek in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same.
There's your desk. Can I get a stealth roll, please, Lucky?
Sure can.
You're right next to the sleeping body.
And now I am clicking advantage because inspiration is.
You're right next to a sleeping body. 15 does not wake up the person sleeping, does not wake up the owner or editor. And you can just see the desk right at the top corner of the room.
Okay. I'll motion for the papers.
All right, I'll, take them out, hand them to him.
And I'll head up there and see if there's papers on the desk.
There are. It looks like they're exactly the same as what you're using.
Okay. And I will switch them.
Yep.
And then I will leave.
Okay. It's as subtle and simple as that. As you're going past the body, like the sleeping person again, you hear a murmur and a stir, but it doesn't wake up.
Okay. And I head to the stairs and go down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll switch back to the other side of the map.
And now I'm going to look at what those papers say.
I'm going to look over his shoulder.
Can I tell how they're different?
It just looks like a story on the Growhold Manor, on the events of what happened. Sounds very similar to all the others that you've heard yesterday about.
And the ones we just planted. Like, can I tell the difference between the two stories?
Did you read the new one?
Yeah. I asked you, but you were distracted at the moment.
Okay.
I asked what they were.
Oh, the different one talks about the Groundholds being supporting the Black Network's dealings in the city, including the kidnapping of a prominent noble family's son, and doesn't name the person, but the date of it is the same date as Neverember's kidnapping.
Okay.
It also talks about them being host to the Black Network, and that host then attacking. It also talks about them being in league with demons.
Well,
or demons or devils. It does say. It doesn't specify.
None of that stuff sounds far-fetched to me. So I leave the building.
So that's what the false story says. And you leave the building out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So just move you straight out the window. Done.
And then we will attempt to close the window and see if we can set it up to relatch it once we're outside. Can we do that with like a dagger or something like that?
That's essentially another thing.
Or our thieves' tools, maybe.
Mage hand or thieves' tools. Because the mage hand was And I was wondering if you were going to actually remember to lock the window afterwards.
We are professionals.
So have you got mage hand?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I know that all arcane tricksters have mage hand.
Okay, so you have mage hand. You can pull the latch across. You know where it is. You can pull the latch across after it's closed, and you test it, and it's locked, and it's not moving. You've successfully done a switcheroo.
Celebrate with a beer?
And I turn off the light on my dagger too.
Yes. A perfect switcheroo on the documents. Well done. No instance.
Yeah, and when we go to a tavern to celebrate, the old papers go into the fireplace.
Okay. We'll go back to the big map again. And the night is celebrated. Is there anything else you would like to do This is a lot simpler than I expected.
I would, after they've gotten well and drunk, I will leave the tavern that we are at because I only drink water. I don't drink alcohol. I will leave the tavern and find, or call over some. It's summer, right? So there are like birds around, crows, pigeons.
It is
I'll call
nighttime,
over
though.
whatever's nearby. Okay.
It is nighttime, so birds do sleep.
Okay.
You don't
Let's see if I can
break
find
into places during the day. Well,
I can tell you that while you're drinking the water, Lucky will look over into your glass and go, "Oh, a vodka drinker, eh?"
Yes. I nod. Absolutely.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, my spell. Choose a tiny beast within range. All right, so I can just choose a tiny beast within range. So I'll find a rat or something.
yep.
If it's nighttime, there's got to be bats around.
Oh, can I do a bat? Just throw up the bat symbol. in the sky. I have Skywrite. I can do that. I didn't have it prepared though. But yeah, I'll basically find either a bat or a rat, whatever tiny beast is in range, and I will attach to its little paw the little letter, all the notes that I've taken, rolled up into a tiny little string, tied with whatever string I had on me. And then in a 25-word message, I will basically, or first I will describe the person, which is whatever description of a
that you know of,
contact I would know of. Yeah. And then in a 25-word message, I will say, successful assimilation of new group. Not included. The was not included.
Mm-hmm.
Maloon War Dragon, dead, mentally taken over, unknown source. Probably should have counted this out first. Basically, successful meeting. We'll send news net later.
And the owl flies back off into the night and disappears into the darkness.
And I will head back to the tavern and open up my new blank sheet of notes.
And the two drunkards probably haven't noticed you're going to the toilet.
Yep.
Yep. Which is basically just going outside and peeing on the corner.
Which is pretty much that, yes. Some inns do have them. Most is just the backyard. And that corner of the backyard is smelly. Because you don't just have males, females, them, you have, well, different creatures, everything. It's all bad. Some of the diets of those half-orcs you just don't want to go through. Or go near, I should say. Kobolds are an acceptable part of the city, by the way, so that's even worse. So back at the Troll Skull, is there anything else you'd like to do? Cassell?
By the time I get back there, I'd probably just go right to bed.
Yeah, we stumble into the room castles in.
Start searching the
basically
house.
Designated driver.
Yeah, we searched the house for castle. Just fall asleep at the foot of his bed.
Yeah, that does happen. Does Dandelion go elsewhere in the house? Or...
Nah, not really. Dandelion will basically just make some sort of nest out of whatever's there.
Yeah.
They're used to sleeping out in the wilderness. This is a bit like kind of, they'll probably sleep outdoors, so like maybe like on one of the balconies just because it's fresher.
Okay, so the balcony or the front porch?
Not the balcony, not on the front porch. They're not going to just like sleep where anybody could come out towards them. They'll sleep at least on the balcony. So somebody is going to have to at least go out of their way to.
Can't be a copycat of Hal either.
Okay.
I'll take whatever like scrap linens or like moth-eaten whatevers and just make a weird nest on the balcony and sleep.
If you're looking for nest, there is a tower. Like there is the turret tower.
And I believe there was a bunch of birds living in there
Yes.
as it was.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll go up there and talk to them.
Yeah.
And ask if I can sleep here. I'll make a nest below them.
They give you permission, but only if you bring them treats.
Absolutely.
String, colours,
I'll whatever
shinies.
whatever leftovers from the party we had at the tavern, I'll give them whatever's left.
Oh yeah. And bread, food, of course, seeds. When you're searching, and Cassell, you've noticed this too. Your border seems to have taken up over the last day. He seems to have taken up residence in the library, or in the study. You don't know where he's gotten them from, but he's got paperwork. He's got other bits and pieces. And there seems to be a lot of forms and a lot of bureaucracy stuff spread out on the table, and he's just been going through bits and pieces. So he's keeping to himself, or he and she, because she's currently disguised as a he. He's been mostly keeping to himself, and he's just been working hard on something you don't really know what's going on. And unless told otherwise, we'll take the master bedroom. I don't know if anyone else has taken that room though. No one's taken. Okay, we're paying
I
500. Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to ask.
She's
could I
playing
insight
top
them?
dollar.
Well, 500 gold. Yeah. Insight to the person on what benefit, as in for what reason.
I just want to see if I can tell if they're disguised or not, or if they're just some
Yeah,
random
you can
hobo
do that,
hanging
yep.
out here.
Oh, we would have already told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tell you. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
There we go.
It's actually a female dwarf, and she casts spells and makes herself look different. And she's paying us lots of money, and she works for the Black Network.
Okay,
She's
well,
a
now that I know
high-ranking
that,
member.
I will absolutely like to see if I can figure out what they were working on in the library.
Keep that on the down low.
Shh. It's a
Yeah.
secret. And this would have been at the tavern.
Yeah,
All
I'm
night?
speaking super loud so everyone in the tavern. would
Yeah,
know.
well, I have to speak loudly because there's music. And so, in order for Dandelion to hear, I have to raise my voice.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Um,
I
So-
mean, I could just message you, but I mean, that's not friendly.
It's impolite. You're gonna
We're
speak really
having
loudly.
we're having fun.
so how are you going to try to have a look at the papers?
Turn into a jumping spider and crawl on the ceiling and just see if I can see what they're
Okay.
looking at.
So late at night, when you get home, and you find out that they're essentially taking up residence in the library. Late at night when you get home, the light, like they're only just going to bed, and the lights turned out, so you can sneak in, and as you go through the papers, you're trying to read the papers. What languages do you speak? Or can you read, I should say. I know it's a weird one.
Let me post that in. There we go. Common,
Okay.
Elvish, Primordial, Undercommon, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Yeah. Okay. So, in Elvish, strangely, as it's a dwarf, there's a lot of what looks to be accounting notes. Lot of like just looks to be just numbers, like spreadsheets of numbers. There's other as you're going through it, you notice a few other bits and pieces. There seems to be stuff from the city. As in, if you've lived in the city for any point of time, there's just bureaucracy. There's loads and loads of bureaucracy and red tape in the city, and there seems to be stuff on tax forms and property transitions, and just it's you think maybe acquiring or selling a property or moving a property. And there's also stuff about death taxes in there too. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in there. And if you start reading through it, it'll give you a headache. There's just so much. The language in it is just, it's so over the top and overly formal, overly complex. But there's notes also written as well on there too.
Interesting. And then after that, I'll crawl back into my little nest room and write down all the notes of what I saw.
Yeah. And in the morning, we'll cross over to. So where have we got here? I've got other notes here. So in the morning, you wake up with your normal getting drinks, getting breakfast. Your boarder is there again cooking meals. Good cook, actually. And it seems that because you enjoy the meals, that they start cooking more and more and more. So you're never without every morning. You're never without at all. And now that you've got suppliers, it's even better for you.
I think we should discuss having our boarder stay on free of rent.
Well, if you do say that, it's like, well, I do have a business to get back to, but it's been an interesting vacation.
We like you.
Speaking of business,
Just want to say that.
when are you going to open here? Because you don't even have staff.
Well, we've been waiting to get all the licensing.
We have a bartender.
I was like, I don't think the Church of Kellenville would like that. We have met.
I told them to go away.
Yeah, they suck.
Is Castle back at this point?
Yes, you're there. This is in the morning. This is
Okay.
This is
Okay.
you. So
Yep. I just kind of have my,
you're like, oh god.
brow stapled in my fingers. Oh gosh, not again.
Speaking of opening the tavern, though, how close are we to getting all our licensing and everything that we need?
Few
Are we
days.
ready to go? Do we just need to hire staff now?
You're a few days away, but staff would probably be the next issue.
Okay. Can you help us get staff? Do you know people? You're a good cook. Do you know other good cooks?
Castle, insight, please.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for the others, but probably Castle and Dandelion. Not
I can
sorry,
get
not you two.
Flash Network operatives are running my bar.
That's exactly. That's exactly. It's like, do you know people?
Out of character, I told you that.
That's how you get some real good adventuring in.
Yeah, it's like, do you know people? Oh, I do. They're currently preoccupied, but I'm sure things will be freed up soon. We do hire out people if you'd like.
Actually, it occurs to me, I mentioned to Bella, we had a lot of good bars back in the docks districts, and they didn't pay their staff very well. I bet you we could remember Bobby, the cook? He was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great mushrooms.
And Daisy, the waitress, she was good. I bet you we could get all kinds of them if we went over there and offered them some money.
Yeah.
And they'd like us. We were their best customers.
Well,
I think anyone that you pay, like any tavern you go into, you're the best customers because you pay so much.
But I
much.
imagine we have a history at the taverns in the docks area, or at least probably a tavern or two that we were regulars at, right?
Several.
So I'm thinking we might go try to poach some of their staff.
yeah.
If you do that, you do know that you may not be able to go back to those taverns.
Oh, that's too high a price to pay. Okay. Do we know anyone who was unfairly fired or anything like that, or maybe had disagreements with their boss and quit?
Not
That might be
really,
good.
because it's like once if you are fired, you don't usually go back, and then you don't really get to see those patrons.
I mean, we could probably just go down to the dock wards and hunt around and find some people.
We don't just want anyone. We want people who are good. We want our tavern to be the best tavern.
Yeah.
Well,
Is there a guild for cooks?
I don't know if there is. They may be, because there's so many guilds around.
Yeah, I mean, I know it might not be listed in your list because it's pretty obscure, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if there's a. I would want to get somebody who's trained, like a trained cook, and a halfling,
A halfling.
because
I mean, the
they
more
are
halflings,
the best
better.
cooks are always halflings.
Okay. Well,
The fatter, the better.
your border says, well, if you're going to head out today, I can do some searching on your behalf. As I said, my people are probably preoccupied at the moment, and though we do hire them out, probably more suitable for guards or bouncers if you would like that.
No, we're okay that way. We just want somebody. We want somebody behind the oven that makes really good mushrooms, and then we want battered in butter, and then we want some waiting staff that are really friendly and happy.
Okay. Well, I'll put some word out, and I'll see what I can do. As I said, it's not really.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm used to employing people. It's just you're probably looking for different than what I usually employ, but it'd be an interesting venture.
Yeah, we're not really looking for crime lords to run our bar. We're just looking for wait staff and a cook.
And halflings.
Yes.
Preferably halflings.
Okay.
Though I've heard some elves are good cooks.
I bet they just make fancy stuff, though.
They do tend to
we
make
know that.
fancy.
We know that humans aren't very good cooks.
No, it's just that elves are very much not good cooks.
They don't know. They don't know the difference between a harvest mushroom and a deep brown mushroom.
Oh, how could they not?
And just too many spices instead of good hearty food, says the dwarf.
Yeah, that's right. And when they brown their butter, I mean, it gets brown. You want it golden.
Oh boy. But your border says, well, I'll have a look into things and I'll see what I can find. And there's a tavern
Thank you.
There's a new tavern opening down the street. Let's see if they may have some staff looking for better employment. After all, if they haven't started, there shouldn't be too much of an issue.
If we want to keep good relations with said neighbor, though, that would probably be a very poor idea.
I got this feeling we're not keeping good relations with that neighbor anyway. He's not going to be very happy that we're opening a tavern.
No, and he's not going to be very happy either that I didn't speak for the fact that that alcohol was his when it came by.
For a halfling, he's really grumpy.
The times you've met him, or the time you have met him, he was already not happy that you owned the Trollskull Manor, because he did mention he was trying to bid for it. Because
He's that grumpy halfling.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and if they haven't started work, then it couldn't be too upsetting, maybe. At least that's the idea, maybe. From that point on, so again after breakfast, which seems to be the thing, you get a messenger's come in, knocking on the door in the morning. After all this talk of business is occurring, it's a young boy, about 10 years old, dressed quite sharply, even quite sharply for this area. And he says, "Is the Lord here? The Lord of the Manor?"
Huh?
I point to
We
Castle.
all
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
Castle.
I mean, I guess
Yes.
he kind of is.
Yes, since I'm the tallest, I'm the de facto lord of the manor.
Um,
And
he
you're the
walks
leader.
over to you and he bows and says, for Cassius Talios.
I will take the letter and open it up and read it.
Yes. It's
I just want to crowd him.
you gotta be up to look down. You
Raise it up to 4
Yeah.
inches.
Yep.
I'll put
and
her on my shoulders and raise her up.
I give the 10-year-old boy a silver. Thank you.
He looks at the silver and puts it in his pouch, which looks like it costs a lot more than the silver. He looks like he's actually from the the letter is addressed directly to Cassius with your full name. It actually is full named, and it is from a concerned citizen. And it asks for a meeting with yourself and your associates for the benefit of Waterdeep.
And is there a signature or
Well,
some sort of indication as to who wrote the letter?
the meeting is you're asked to attend at the Wands Villa, and it's got the address of corner of Mage Court and Shando Street. Shando Street, and it is signed Ferdinand Wand.
How do you spell wand? W-A-N-D?
W-A-N-D. I know it sounds really bad.
Sure.
You know that the Wand family, and it is a family, one of the older noble families, are heavily associated with the magistras and the mages of the city. They've each generation, and it's known if you've ever been anything associated with them, they often will have several generations in the magistras and the mages of the city. It's kind of a calling that their whole family does. It's not a very powerful, but a very dutiful noble family, at least.
Okay. Taking a moment to look at Bella and smirk inwardly, I will inform the party of the letter, set it down so they can read it.
I didn't know your name was Cassius.
Yes, that's my full name, but I just prefer to go by Castle. Thank you very much.
Writes this down.
Just the whole write this down, and now we know that writing's going elsewhere. Deviousness. So the meeting's also for lunchtime, for midday.
Perfect. We don't have anything else going on, do we?
I don't know. Are you burning more shrubs?
No, don't worry. I took some time to come up with another plan, but that's not going to be enacted for a little bit. So.
Okay. And so at midday, you head down to. I'll even mark it on the map. We've got a huge map. So in Mage Court and Shandio Street. And got a big peak mark on it. There you go. So the manor itself looks like it's one of the older buildings in the street, and it looks like the street itself, or the block itself that the street's built around, used to once be this one manor house, the gardens of, and then over the years it's just turned into maybe outbuildings, which have then turned into tenement buildings and then been sold on, and then again and again. So all that's left is the manor itself, in the middle of essentially in the middle of the block, with other buildings surrounding, and it's really a really impressive structure. It certainly has the whoa. God, that's always scary. Hello, Streaming God. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a follower of the channel. It's always good to get more goblins to fight off those pesky kobolds. Thank you so much for your follow. So as I was saying, the building itself does remind you of what a mage's tower could be like. It actually has 2 towers on the ends and buildings in between. Although it certainly looks like it's more functional than just like, oh, I'm a mage, I have a tower. So essentially 2 towers with buildings between linking them. So as you approach the door, you ring the bell, and it's less a bell but more of a ding, and you know it's a magical sound that's from the bell that comes out. And only a few minutes later, a same young boy opens the door and says, "Ah, yes, the guests, please come in. You're expected. You're shown to the waiting room. Please do not touch anything. And if you do wish to try to touch anything, just be warned, the wands are quite magical in their nature, and they like to protect their things by magical things. So, just as a warning, as new guests,
I beg your pardon.
I'm not. This is please don't take this as an insult. We're just as a heads up, as there's a lot of magic here. A lot of magic.
Touch. Want to touch?
Please don't touch. As you start reaching up, I'm guessing.
I would like to cast Detect Magic just to see how many magical things there are. If I'm blind.
As you start casting, and the boy just instantly recognizes that you're doing something magical. And another thing, maybe not cast in the presence of the wands. They like to protect their things again with magic, and each member of the family has the spark and has the skill and the training. I myself have learnt some things in their presence.
Thank
I
you
know
for
where
your
they're
help.
taking my wands.
And I
Soon
palm
they
him.
will all light me on fire if I decide to detect whatever's in here.
I palm him
I just want to
another
make sure I
silver
do
piece.
not run into any sort of, just in case if I accidentally bump into something.
But he certainly, the boy, even at 10 years old, certainly understands magic and understands you're about to cast, and he seems like he indicates that he's had some training himself, even at a young age. You're led to a large, opulent waiting room, and there are foods, there are pastries, there are drinks, non-alcoholic.
I don't care about touching anything else anymore.
Non-alcoholic drinks, and there's mixed. It's not just water, but it's fruit drinks and other flavored waters, essentially.
Water with the essence of lemon.
Just gonna take a glass and just.
Yes.
What kind of
This one smells like strawberries. It's like
weird water is this?
it's like a strawberry liqueur, but not quite as good.
Like strawberry cider, but not actually cider.
Yeah.
I will try to keep an eye on the 2 halflings to make sure they don't steal anything. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I'm gonna attempt it.
Yeah.
They put out a plate of food, so they're okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in
On
general.
silverware.
I would like to.
Yes. So you have advantage on spotting if they do something. I'll put that out there just as up front. Moments later, a young man comes in. He's dressed quite well, quite richly. and he's only in his early 20s. Long flowing hair, a little bit of a goatee and mustache, and good looking for a human. He introduced himself. Thank you, my guests. It's good that you arrived and so prompt. It's nice. My name is Wand. This is my family's location, my family's house. We've got a little bit of an issue. How can I put this? How much of the history of the city do you know?
Not much.
It's a city.
So if I asked you how much of the magical history, you'd probably say the same. The city has a barrier to protect it, and we've got something testing it, and the magistrates are not dealing with it because technically it's out of their jurisdiction, because technically it's out of the city. And
Like 1 inch outside.
Well, if it can't get in, then it's out of the city. That's their issue. And if it gets in, then it becomes their issue.
If there's a barrier protecting the city, how come I've gotten stabbed lots of times?
Were you stabbed by a dragon?
But I don't think so, no.
Well, that's what the barrier is for. Why were you stabbed?
I mean, things
Very
happen.
clumsy. That's why I was concerned about magical objects. We are very clumsy. We might actually run into something.
Oh,
You're out of cheese.
Yeah, we're leaving crumbs everywhere.
it doesn't mind. We can organise more food if you would like. And he pulls a bell out of his pocket and it's silent. A little bit later, someone comes in, the same boy, and says, "Yes, my lord." It's like, we need cheese and just bring double what we had before, and just
get salted pork.
He just turns the boy, just what you can. Ask the cooks, see what they
Drinks.
No alcohol. It's business.
But it's noon.
Bella,
That's good.
we have business to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Just soak a bit while I eat.
So Ferdinand goes into more details. You see, the issue has become that there's, as I said, there's a barrier around the city. The barrier is quite old and ancient, and we can't even remember who set it, but it's there to protect the city from when it was formed. The city has moved pretty much right to the outside, right to the skirts of that barrier, and so we're still within it, and it still protects us. And it's just protecting the city from dragons, because, well, there was a time when dragons were bad, and the city was not as powerful as we are now, kind of. But even so, there's a dragon which is around and playing. Seems to be young. He's been disrupting a little bit of trade, and there's concerns from the Queen's Spire that it may be in their territory. So we're just leaning someone to just ask it to leave, or have it removed, or
We could ask.
Why don't you just get those kobolds?
No one listen to a kobold. Well, we'll ask.
yeah. I don't think kobolds can swim, and I don't think a dragon would listen to a kobold.
Well, but we'll ask. We'll make the dragon leave.
Yeah. So, while it's been seen at the Troll Gate, on the mud floor, not on the mud flaps, but just outside the mud flaps, in the water, off to the west, it's been most likely seen outside the Queen's Spire, in the water between the Queen's Spire and the Great Harbour, the gates to the Great Harbour. The problem is that there's a ritual for those on long voyages that they donate to the bitch Queen of the Sea outside the Queen's Umberley. There's a rift to Umberley. Well, it's believed to be to Umberley. And so they do a donation as a ritual, as an appeasement for a safe passage so that Umberley does not have vengeance on them. Quite a vengeful god, apparently.
Sailors do the same thing.
Yes. So we believe, or Umberley believes that it's hanging around there, taking Umberley's power and taking Umberley's donations. Some of the sailors don't like it harassing them and hitting their ships and whatnot. It's actually been seen, it's jumped over one of the dinghies and sunk it when there was people rowing out to a ship. So a little bit of a mischief, maybe. Are you
Can
able?
I ask
Yes.
what color this dragon is?
It's not red. It's not one of those. It's we believe it's copper from reports. Copper or bronze. It's one of those.
Okay.
But we don't know the name of it. We can guess from the reports and from the research that we've done. Research my family's done, at least my family's library, I should say, that it's young or youngish.
So it's just a bit of a prankster, troublemaker. How are we doing on that cheese?
Certainly a troublemaker, and they bring another two more servants bring platters of cheese, biscuits, pastries, dried meats.
Yeah, we're totally doing this for you.
And they take the other away.
So, as far as the dragon goes, do you know the gender of the dragon?
No, that's not really something sailors would be looking for. They really are just... I mean, we were lucky to even get the sizes from them, and the sizes that we've gotten to approximate the age. Well, you know how sailors over-exaggerate things, so when they say it's this big, it's usually this big. So we've had to work from a lot of accounts to try to figure out.
A lot of brief reports.
We have a canoe.
We have a canoe.
They can also turn into animals that can swim and breathe water.
And we made a canoe. And Castle said, we wasted our time. And then I said, we'll eventually need that canoe.
Since when do we have a canoe?
You were I think you were in prison.
Oh.
You've seen in one of the rooms that there's...
We made it at the woodworking shop just down the road. And it's collapsed.
Right, it was for, traveling on down the sewer. It was not made for the high seas or anywhere exposed.
No, we're not gonna take it out into the open ocean. We'll do it just in the bay. The Queen's Spire is a bay. There's a harbor there, and it's all enclosed. There's an island.
Very uncomfortable. No, that seems like a bad idea either way. That is not a well designed.
It'll all be fine.
I think if we spend some coin, it'll all be fine, and we get an actual ship that can keep us afloat.
Castle, can you speak dragon?
No.
Dragons usually speak our language because they're smart. Dragons are very smart.
Dragons do tend to be.
I don't know a lot about dragons, but I know a few things. They're very, very smart. They have wings, and they breathe stuff.
Oh, I know is that they
in
like
this
gold.
case, they breathe water.
Yeah, but they breathe bad stuff.
They can expunge hazardous materials from their mouth, usually.
expunge.
That's a big word.
Another word for vomit.
I just wanted to say that. Expunge.
Expunge. So that means that it comes out their mouth, right?
I hope
Yep.
so.
Not the other end.
It does most of the time, unless they're not feeling well.
Okay, we'll have to use that sometime, Lucky.
Yeah, I know that a couple nights ago, I definitely expunged a whole bunch.
Yeah, the next time we're at a tavern, we can
That
say
was-
that guy over there is expunging.
Yeah, I had that projectile expunge.
Mr. Wand,
Yes.
can I ask how much we are being compensated for our efforts should we succeed?
Oh, yes, that's of course. I don't usually hire people. Of course, and we're not hiring you because adventuring is illegal. Naturally.
Naturally.
Yes. Just making sure that's understood. That it's yes. Well, I do have a harbour moon set aside for this. It's a contribution from several of the dock workers as well as from myself and some of my friends.
All right.
That sounds good to me.
There's also my family's. I'm donating some potions to help you with this, and he goes over to a drawer and opens it up, and there's small little flasks. There's 6 of them, and says these will help you with breathing under the water when needed. It's swimming under the water, so you might need them. You might need to go deep. And if he says canoe sinks, this may help as well. He's quite quizzical with the canoe, especially when you said that it goes down into the sewers.
I'll just give him an understanding nod, like, yeah, you are correct. It's not really a canoe.
Yeah. So 1 harbour moon, which is the equivalent of 500 dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think we're in.
you accept this. You'll be not employed to do this.
Yes, I find this arrangement agreeable.
And that's good to hear. It's the Queen Spire are getting, they're getting very bitchy, you could say. Pun
It's
intended.
understandable.
Well, they sacrificed to the big queen of the sea. Mm-hmm.
And the sailors also are getting unnerved if Umberlee doesn't get the reward. They think that they might also be under threat, which is why trade's a bit.
She commands all the giant octopuses.
Oh.
I believe it's usually in the form of a giant tsunami. I could be wrong.
Oh, let's not.
Unless we have anything else to add, I don't think we'll be taking up too much more of your time or food.
Well, time
Grab
I've
some
got,
snacks
food
for the
we're running
road.
low on. I'm sure. And he looks down to the one empty platter.
There's
and the
got to
2
be a
others,
physical limit.
one in
on
front
how
of.
much they can... They're not that big.
You can see now that each time he eats, it's almost there's a look of pain on his face.
It's good food. It's really, really high in food as well.
I'm just like gathering more feet to let and like.
And Lucky does have a large belly, but it looks very large right now.
Oh, pie. Well, if you can look into this, the sailors would like, or we would like this to be settled in a few days, if this is possible. So
We'll get right on it.
the Queen's Spire. Yes, the priests of Queen's Spire looking to take their own action, and we've been able to hold them off for a little bit. But I believe that if they go into action, things are going to be a bit more messy.
Is the couch over there? Is it one of those things that explodes if you touch it?
It's a quick power nap.
I think we're ready to go. So
He looks. He's about to answer, then pauses, and then says, "Maybe."
Yeah, we better head back to Troll Skull Manor.
And then you could go on the canoe and it could rock you to sleep with the waves and
Okay.
everything.
not a canoe.
I want to be kind of behind everyone, and I kind of just want to act like I just kind of nudge something accidentally. I'm not trying to steal. I'm just nudging to
I
see
told you we
what
were
will
clumsy.
happen. Yeah, to see what will happen.
Nothing at all.
I bet
Alright.
that little kid lied.
Try and herd this party of cats,
And thieves.
I
two
could be a
waddling
cat.
cats, and the masked individual.
You could just be a cat. You will be hurting cats.
Could be a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Dandelion, do you have anything for a hurt tummy?
Possibly. I'd have to check my bag. I left it at the Troll Skull.
Okay.
And when I say that, I just pull out something out and just give it to you anyway. I don't know what it is. Probably something you can chew on. Maybe like a stick of licorice.
Mm.
Leather. True leather. Well, animals chew. You could give an animal leather if they're in pain to chew.
I love Blackroot.
So as we head back to the Troll Skull Manor to prepare for your meeting with the dragon, or you're searching for the dragon, actually, we're going to take a little bit of break, and because we're pretty much right on our 2 hour mark right now, and I think it's a great time for a break. So we'll be back in about 5 or so minutes. So stick around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone for coming in, and Frost now again. Thanks for the host. It's always appreciated. So I'm just going to get some sounds, hopefully. We'll just do the ruckus drinking. Yeah, we'll be right back. So.
Say like 5 minutes when we'll be back.
And we're back. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Karsh. Thank you for. I have to say thank you so much, Nez, for the donation. I'll just turn that sound down. There we go. Thank you, Nez, for the donation. Thank you so much. It's always appreciated. It helps go fund the channel for things like this, and for other things that we do on the channel as well. So again, thank you. And yes, we always go take these breaks more than 5 minutes, which is what was being discussed, as well as Calgary, as well as horses and mustaches, and just bits and pieces. It kind of happens. Though it all started with me doing my mustache. The tangents, that is. So, we're back. We'll open the scene at the Troll Skull Manor, just after midday. We've had full bellies, some fuller than others, much fuller than others, I should say. And you've been given a task to search for a dragon and then ask for it to leave. What's the plan? You have a canoe.
Well, I have this idea that we go, we find the dragon, and then we ask it to leave. What do you think?
Council should ask him to leave.
That sounds great. How do you propose we get there?
Well, our canoe collapses.
The canoe gets. You
No,
hear this
that was
dragging,
a silly question.
You hear this dragging through the house, and like, you just know that it's Lift trying to move the canoe towards you, but it's heavy.
Thank you.
This is a poor idea, and will not hold water. We should go and
No, it's not
charter.
supposed to hold water. The water's supposed to be underneath.
It's supposed to hold water out. That's what it's supposed to do.
I thought you were a part of making this castle. Surely it would work.
I was, and it will work great if we could go in a sewer. I am sure of it. But this is not a sewer. There are going to be waves. Mainly waves. That's what I'm worried about. So I think we should get a ship that has been proven on the seas before. And if we have to spend extra money, we can. Or we do have these sweet potions and we could just swim out there.
And I can turn into a shark, so you guys can just tie a rope to me, and I can just drag you.
That does sound
Castle.
pretty good.
That sounds awesome. I like that plan.
Much cheaper.
Could we sell the extra one if Dandelion doesn't need it?
Sell the
I
extra-
want to
we
ride
have-
the shark.
We have 2 extra ones to sell, but let's bring them with just in case. We'll assess that after we complete the mission, because I'm sure a potion of water breathing will not sell as much for as much as a harbor moon.
Oh, and I want to use the potion of water breathing. How else do I get to get pulled by a shark?
All right, and then we'll just try to talk to this dragon, and I guess we'll see how it goes.
It'll all work out.
It has so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're leaving out through the south gate to go head to this Queenspire and then go out into the water.
Yeah, we have a long walk.
Yeah.
You're north of the city, so while your destination is essentially down here between the Queenspire and the Eastern Harbour Gate, your location is right at the very top of the city. So it's a long walk. So you'd get there by almost night time or late afternoon. So are you going out of the south gate towards Queenspire, or are you going to the docks? Like inside or outside?
Do they close the gates after sunset?
No, they don't. But they do have people on guard.
No, that's fine. We're residents. I say we
Yeah,
just
we're not-
go outside. We don't need to go to the docks. We can just go out the south gate, go down by the Queenspire, and get in. Did Juan say Juan did mention the Queenspire. Are they want to get the dragon removed, right?
They do.
But they disagree with our methods.
Yes. They think summoning a kraken is much better.
Oh, okay. And yeah, we'll just be sneaky. We're pretty sneaky.
Wait.
Or giant octopus. Or...
Asshole. Think of how cool that would be to see a kraken and a dragon fighting.
Think of how cool it'd be if that was the last thing you saw.
I didn't think of that until now.
Think of how cool it'd be to be alive and have a harbor moon.
That's pretty good too. I've never seen a harbor moon.
I think both options are pretty great.
I mean, maybe we could just watch from a distance and still get our harbor moon.
I don't think that's how it works. Besides, a kraken in Waterdeep would not bode well for anybody.
They have these long arms and they do this.
There's a picture out there of like the backscape of Waterdeep, or like the harbour city with the kraken in the foreground. That's I'm pretty sure I've seen the picture somewhere of that. So you head throughout the city. You head out to Queenspire. Queenspire itself it's built on a rocky outcrop. That the bay itself is formed by essentially rocky outcrops with sand that's on the inside that's washed up to form a little bit of a bay there. But there's one large outcrop on the inside of the bay, and that's where the Queenspire sits on bedrock on this outcrop. And it's still under construction. It is a temple that has been built for many, many years. It is a hideous looking black temple, black building, and it just feels wrong. It feels sickly. It just, where other temples in the city have given that enlightenment, that joyous like inspiration when looking upon, this is the opposite. This is follow me or I kill you style. And that is how the Queenspire looks and feels when you approach. And you have to get pretty much to the bay of where the Queenspire is, and there's not many people, well, there's nobody around except for this ominous thing on one side, the city walls on the other, and the beach and the bay in front of you.
I will do a slight prayer, taking out some newts, some dried newts, and stick them in the sand and say like, "Please let us pass. We mean no harm or any like intrusion." And then I'll continue on.
You feel the presence of another another entity here. Like you feel almost the presence of Umberly herself in this area.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if we can go in the water. And offering dried newts.
It's not. There's no there's no bad result from that you can tell. As in, your offering hasn't been thrown away or flung away out of the sand. But there is
They
certainly
want
presence.
the dragon gone, so this is going to make them happy. Maybe not happy enough to have a temple that doesn't feel like a bad day, but happy.
What kind of stuff does this entity like?
I don't know a lot about Umberly, but I know that sailors fear her, so they throw stuff overboard to try to keep her at bay because she does sea monsters and bad stuff.
And in my experience, plenty of spirits do like newts. Dried newts. As I learned from the movie A Spirited Away.
Should we give her money?
I wouldn't give her... Nah. I think if we get rid of the dragon, they'll be happy.
Could I do a religion check?
Yeah, you can do a religion check, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what would you like to know? You know enough details.
So it sounds like she's the god of the sea, goddess.
She's the bitch queen of the sea. She's the goddess of the sea. Sea monsters are her thing. Taking down ships, unless you pay homage to her, she will take with it. Like she's known for she's blamed for any accident at sea that's not a storm or something like that.
Since when am I in D&D?
I'm not touching that. You also know for 20 that this is the Umberly's not actually openly practiced. Waterdeep is probably the only place where Umberly is openly practiced, and this is going to be the first open temple to Umberly in the realms. And that is because what is known, or what is believed, is that there is a rift to Umberly, or Umberly's domain, just outside of Waterdeep.
Okay. That sounds good.
So how much are you telling the guys?
I'll just let him know that Umberly is definitely an evil aligned deity, and also watch out for sea monsters.
Yeah. And dragons.
True.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we should try and sneak out under the cover of night?
Do we need to sneak?
Yeah, I don't think we need to sneak. We're just going into the water. I already asked for permission, and nothing was struck. I wasn't stricken by lightning, so I think I'm good.
And if someone asks us what we're going to do, we'll tell them we're going to ask the dragon to leave.
There's no one else
All
around.
Right, sounds good to me.
And then they say, "You're crazy." And then we say,
Yep.
It'll all work out.
But Castle says yes, they are.
Oh, yep. No, yeah. We are we all are crazy.
Oh, I thought it was they. Okay. I stand corrected.
He hasn't run away from us yet.
One of us.
Castle's just a different kind of crazy.
Okay.
He's a stuffed salted fish with ash kind of crazy.
Yep.
There you go. Let's get some sea.
With that, Dandelion will go up to the sand, and basically just run and leap in. And in midair, they'll turn into a little lemon shark, which is like one of the reef sharks, and dive in and wait for you guys to come in.
And so everyone else has, well, there were 6 potions. So you're separating them out 2 each, or is one person
guess so.
distributing?
How long did they last? An hour?
No, they
didn't ask.
last 24 hours. Well,
So you can breathe underwater for 1 hour after drinking this potion.
Oh, it's 1 hour. Okay.
You didn't ask, but I've assigned you the details.
Okay.
We'll be able to stay there for 2 hours, which is how long my wild shape lasts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll take the rope, tie it around Dandelion's shark form, and then she'll tow us out, and then before we dive down, we'll, bottoms up on the potion and
So it
dive
is shark
down.
surfing, that's what I thought.
Oh yeah. This is
Yeah.
This is too
Lucky
good to pass
Lucky's
up.
not using a rope. Lucky gets up to the shark and holds and tries to hold the.
The rope on
boy.
just for safety, but you can just hold on to my fin. So it's
Yeah.
Dolphin surfing, almost. That's what I'm picturing, is dolphin surfing. So as you go out, the further you go out, the more sickly that feeling is of you entering into something else's domain. So on the map, I'm going to ask you to draw an X of where you're going to start diving.
Okay.
Nick,
Go ahead,
do you want
Castle.
to? Oh, I'll do it. Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So glorious
the leader.
leader.
Yes, that is Castle.
Castle, the
All right.
glorious leader.
Success or failure completely relies on you.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's more than the amount of time it takes. Depends on where you select.
Okay. So it's kind of in the bay, right, between the gate and the Queen Spire.
You've been
Somewhere
told
around here, eh?
between.
Yeah. So we're obviously, there's really no other place to start but right here. That is clearly the optimal place to start.
If you believe that.
I'm just messing around.
But that's where you're dragged out to, or you swim out to, and you start sinking. You start swimming downwards into the water, and you're swimming and you're swimming and swimming, and it gets darker the further you go down. How are you going to deal with light? You can't exactly light a torch.
Reef sharks have blind sight, so I'm good.
You're okay.
I assume
Well,
Bella would cast the light
can I
spell, I
light-
assume.
Yeah, on one of my daggers.
Is there somatic components to light spell?
Don't know.
The vocal.
Is there anything
Well-
spoken?
Let me see.
Verbal. Yeah, there's
Verbal.
a verbal component.
You try to start and you think, oh crap, I can't. You can't cast. You can't. You. As soon as you start trying to speak, it just doesn't come out, and water starts going into your mouth. You can breathe the water, but you
How
can't.
far? How deep are we at this point?
Yeah, can I?
You're deep
kinda
enough for
swim
it to
back
be
up?
starting to be getting darkness.
Okay.
Could
but
I-
how long would it take for us to surface?
It's not long.
Okay.
Well, let's do
Could
that.
Could I quick try to cast light?
Can you do it without verbal?
That's the question.
The answer is no.
Okay, that sounds good.
I assume they tap me when it gets dark, and then I'll go back to the
Yeah.
surface. They can cast
I
light, and then I'll go back
think
down.
that's the issue, and the
All three
telepathy,
of us can communicate with you telepathically. So
which is really weird.
Yeah, we could all. We could all
also
do
really
that,
helpful.
thankfully.
actually,
Well-
I think Ursame's character would not be able to because her spell has a verbal component.
Oh, that's true.
Can I? Now I gotta see. Can I cast any spells underwater?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I can cast shape water underwater,
There we go.
but not right now because I'm an animal.
It's like, yep, nope, wait, no, oh crap.
Oh, I can cast friends.
Oh,
That'll be
Hey.
useful on the dragon.
I mean,
And that's it.
uh,
I
I
can
mean, the
literally
message.
all of my other spells contain verbal components.
Well, friends might be a useful spell for you to be able to cast.
Let me look.
yes, Major Hand has a verbal.
Yeah. I meant to press
I
on
know.
message.
So you pretty much indicated to go back up, and so you surface again. You're out in the bay. It's even getting. It's not dark, but you can see that even the bay itself is like the sun is setting. Yep, messages again. That's verbal.
Mm.
Let's cast
I
our
need to
little
make
stuff
sure.
Yeah. So you're pretty much bobbing in the bay, and you got a sharks around, like swimming around you, going, "What's going on? What's going on?" So what are you casting? If you're going to cast, I would suggest casting it now.
Well, yeah, on the surface,
casting.
we'll get a light spell for sure.
Yeah, I'm casting light on one of my daggers.
Yep.
I'll cast it on my dagger as well.
Okay, two light spells. Anything else? No. Okay. So we start going back down.
I mean, I could disguise myself before we go down.
Maybe
As
you can
a
disguise
gnome?
yourself and get better charisma somehow.
Ooh.
So I'd have to make sure not to disguise myself as Castle.
I don't know how Bella would get better charisma.
I just saw something.
Everybody loves her.
The magistrates don't.
Oh, he did. He was just doing his job, but I could tell in his eyes he was very sad.
I didn't like him.
No, that's because he was a jerk.
You're very bipolar on this.
So you start swimming back down.
The nicest jerk there ever was.
You start swimming down, and it's a long way down. This is actually a deep part of the harbour, and you get to the floor of the bay, and you're walking, and you're moving. You can't see any rifts. It's very dark. All you've got is your light spell. And you just like 2 light spells, I should say, plus the dark vision, and you're just like searching around, and you're searching around the floor of the harbour, and you're not in the right space. So where would you
Well,
like to head?
Let's try somewhere else.
All right, I think I'm gonna lean into some of our other party resources here, and I'll let Lucky pick the next one. You know.
And I'll turn the seagulls off because you're underwater.
All right.
No underwater seagulls.
No.
This game sucks. This game sucks.
Wait, what was
Just
that?
kidding. I'm kidding. I don't want to crack it.
Lucky says, let's try right about there.
Okay. So as you're essentially walking on the seafloor to another location, and it will take time.
Hopefully we can use the shark to pull us
For dragging?
a little fast.
Is that what you're going to do?
If we can move faster that way, yes.
It will be faster. You won't get your full shark's movement, but you'll get a lot faster movement than trying to trudge from the bottom of the sea in the
then
sand
we'll do
with
that
all the
for sure.
resistance.
Yeah.
So that actually cuts quite a bit of the time, thankfully, because we might have been having issues with our time. Because that's always fun. Let's go to a map. I think we've got a map prepared.
Get down.
I think Lucky might have picked a lucky spot.
Well, it's actually not there, but you're getting towards one. It's a big map, so just give it a moment to load, and I've got to do the dark visions and the light spells. Well, the light spells, really. Let's see. So what's the blind sight?
The blind sight is 30 feet.
That all? Wow. And Bella has one light.
Mhm.
So it's 60-30.
Both Bella and Castle have no, it'll be 40-20 for each of
I think
theirs.
oh, sure.
It is. It's 20 bright, 20 dim.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was. That's what I was going to say. I'm sure it's different in roll 20.
And there you go. Yeah, that should be it. Just make sure. Again, yep, sorry about that, Nick. For some reason, your token generically does not see anything. As like it's ticked as cannot see. Well, it's not ticked as can see. So, this is what you can see, and as you're walking through, and the feeling is growing as you're walking towards the destination.
This is fun.
As in, it's growing as you're walking towards the destination, further and further. As in that sickness, that powerful presence of something somewhere.
I like this.
Always the optimist.
Just imagine every time he talks, it's just bubbles too. I really
I
like this.
like this.
Just bubbles constantly, and it's constantly happening. You can't hear what he's saying. Thankfully, it's like one of the rare times where you can't hear Lucky talking, but on the same thing, you can see the bubbles going all the time from his talking.
And you can tell he has a huge grin.
Big seaweed grin.
Yeah.
Bella does not. I don't think she likes it.
Yeah, I'll just slowly drag them along across the seafloor bed towards whatever that feeling is.
Yeah, you hear in your head, follow the good feeling.
Follow the danger sense.
I got a good feeling about this.
That's a very big map, by the way. Just as a heads up, you can probably notice that one.
No, we'll just keep going one square at a time.
Yep.
Slowly, I mean, it's as fast as we're walking. We're slowly inching along.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. You can use your keyboard arrow directions as well for movements. You want to work? I found out about that the one last week.
Oh, you can.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, there's a shark.
Hi, Sharky.
I feel like we're playing really
Don't
old.
go. Hello,
bad-
Sharky.
Just try to grab Lucky.
Hi, Sharky.
Grab
Stay in the group. Stay in the group.
all back.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
All
chase a
right.
shark, if you're gonna chase a shark, we'll start initiative as it turns.
Well, how far is his rope on him?
I think he's taken off the way from his.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have been able to if I let go of the rope. Well, whatever. Okay, let's do it.
Hey,
I got the reef shark in there, but I don't know if I can roll for it. I mean, its dex is just +1 versus my 0.
so I'll just put +1 to your... Do your roll and I'll do a +1 on top of it. I'll just modify it by +1.
Wouldn't make a difference anyway.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So Bella, you see Lucky trying to chase after the shark, and you see the shark spinning in the water. Its mouth opens, and you can see its teeth bare. And then, what are you doing?
I just kind of want to get push Lucky back a bit and just. I mean, I guess I guess I'd try to stab it.
All movement is halved, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I think I had enough to
It's all
get there.
difficult terrain. Yes, you did. It's all difficult terrain. Wow.
That'll
You
hit.
pull your dagger and you thrust it in, and you think, wow, if I had a real weapon in here, it would be so hard to wield. It's lucky I've got a dagger.
I would add that you do get your sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
2d6, I think.
Yeah. Slash on 2d6.
-5.
5.
Good opening. As you stab the skin of the shark, it's hard to get through. It's hard to pierce. But you get through, and blood starts trailing in the water as it turns around to attack Lucky. Lucky, Bella just
Lucky
attacked your
will take-
friend.
Lucky sees that the shark has turned around and looks like it's about to try to eat him.
Or kiss, you don't know.
Yeah, or kiss. Oh, well, I would like a hug from that shark. I don't know if I want a kiss. So just in case, I'll do the dodge action.
Okay. So that's your entire action. Is just the dodge.
That's my action.
Okay.
It has disadvantage on its attacks.
Yep. And it does indeed try to bite you. It's a lot of dice to throw out. And it misses. Because 15 damage could have been a lot.
Yep.
And it swims around you both. Dandelion.
Dandelion quickly rushes over, like, oh god, oh god, oh god.
You've got your full movement as a shark.
I basically want to try to like ram the shark out of the way. I don't want to like hurt it, but if it does try to hurt me, I will have to retaliate. But I just ram it to like get it out of the way, to basically body block it from eating the halflings.
Okay. So
Would
what
that be like a strength shove attack or something?
I think maybe strength of 14, so you get +2 to that. You can push as an action, I believe.
Yes. It's opposed
Oh, strength.
athletics. Athletics, and then the defender could use acrobatics if they prefer.
Yeah, I think it's just a strength plus strength. So I think
Oh,
reef
yeah, I'll try
sharks
to
though
push
are
it.
smaller than the hunter shark, which is there.
Yeah, I am smaller. My strength is still 14 though, which is the same as me as a human.
So you can just roll yours. Versus the hunter sharks.
Nice roll.
Oops. It's only a 6. No.
With my momentum, I just body block it to get it out of the way. So like that one video where the cat body blocks the dog from the kid. It's that. This tiny little shark body blocks this bigger shark.
Mhm.
It's that punching the shark in the nose. They don't like that.
And I'm basically going to try like to use my animal handling to do like a territorial threat thing, like back off, bro.
Do an intimidation. But I'm going to say do an intimidation with disadvantage because it is a larger shark. You're only a small reef shark. It's a bigger ocean shark. Ooh, let's see. I always put the toenail in the wrong spot. It makes it hard to then do other stuff. Let's see, just a little flat roll. Yeah, not enough. It's bigger than you. It thinks you're food. It thinks you're food.
We're all just tiny little morsels.
Yeah, and to you, he thinks that the halflings are totally food. Yeah.
More like morsels.
I did eat a lot at the mage's place. Probably fairly plump right now.
Yep.
It's a good thing it took more than an hour to get, walk over to that area.
You still need a bit more to walk off, yeah. Cassel?
Yeah,
what are you going to cast?
I'm gonna move forward 15 feet.
Yep, that's pretty much all your
And
movement.
then I'm going to use my dagger, and I will cast the help action by kind of waving my glowing dagger in front of the shark, like Samwise and the giant spider from Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
And so that way Bella has advantage on her next attack.
And
that's my turn.
there you go. So Nick, you should
That's
now have
our
a
party,
reef
by
shark
the way,
there.
in combat. Set up Bella.
Yeah. Nick, you should now be able to have control of the reef shark on the screen.
I see it's bio and info.
And I've given you that too.
Stats for it.
If you can't move the token, then just tell me and I'll be able to do that. So you're trying to
click on it.
blind and distract, and so it's not working. You can't move the token. Okay. Oh, well, at least you have the stats. I'll just move it there, so at least you'll have the stats for it. So it's going to have a disadvantage. It's irritated by the light and the blindness because it's a dark area, and it doesn't like that. So Bella, you've got advantage, and you've got backstab, and you've got everything if you need it.
Yep. Damn it.
And it's 16 hits for 6 damage, plus your backstabs. It's easier just to tick it on your sheet, but... So...
Well, I don't know how to change it to do 2.
Okay, I can do that in a sec.
Oh, wait, no, I figured that out.
Yeah, really easy. You just click on it. You've done a fair bit of damage to it. It looks like it's trailing a fair bit of blood now. It's not in a good way. You can now see how much... Should be able to see its health bar. And it's going to Lucky. What's your going to do?
Okay, Lucky will move up to there. And he doesn't. This shark has been mean.
Mm-hmm.
Go away! Oh, I don't know if I hit it. 12?
A 12 does hit.
Oh, 4 points.
Only just hits. You think you only just pierced the skin, the thick skin of the shark. And more blood is coming from it.
Go away! Go away!
And... Right with that. And I'm just going to do something else here. Movement speed. Ooh, 40. It's hard.
I'm sure if it, swam away, we wouldn't have an issue letting it go.
No, we're not going to chase it.
Unless something else is coming in.
So it does try to go.
You let it go.
We do?
Is it disengaging?
It's disengaging.
Oh.
It is pure disengaging.
See ya.
And the only thing that can chase is probably Dandelion.
I'm just gonna shake my fist at it.
No, we can all grab onto the rope and chase after it that way.
That's still not full
Dandelion.
speed.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
No, we're
wrangle up
we
the
are
halflings towards
Definitely
Castle.
letting it go. That was a mean shark. I just want to be friends.
I can't talk, so I just move my face back and forth.
I suppose any communication I'm doing is through telepathy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
I'm gonna swim over to Lucky and try and grab him.
I'll grab his cloak and he's
okay.
gonna go after it.
I'll assume you actually catch me and hold me back.
I'm a little faster, but
there's
that's
another
the only advantage
there's another
I have.
shark that comes close.
And I'm held back, but my hand comes out.
I just have my dagger out.
So
I want to put up
Are we
my
saying
full,
that-
body and just body block it. Just no, these are mine. Back off. Just
Intimidate.
do that whole sideways thing. Back off.
Intimidate again. Again with disadvantage, it's bigger than you. Ooh, that's better.
Nice.
Gonna roll? Why didn't it roll? We'll do it that way then. Let's start swimming off.
If you guys can speak to me telepathically, I just tell you guys stay in a group. Because if you guys spread off, they'll see a small thing and they'll just try to eat you. So stay in a group. We'll look like a bigger thing.
Both Castle and I should have telepathy available even underwater.
Yeah.
And another one swims in.
I mean, let's go this way.
We'll move as a large creature and try to mimic the large shark. It's no, we're just a big shark too. Back off, bro.
Survival then.
Let our druid roll survival.
Yes, druid for survival. Okay, so you're keeping them together really tight and herding, moving as a larger group to imitate. And though there are sharks around, and it's not just those two, but there's more which you see coming through. As in, I've got tons of them just at the bottom corner of the screen on my GM's layer, and so yeah. Whoops.
Well, what I'm most worried about is if we draw blood on them, that's going to cause a huge problem. Because one, they'll frenzy, or it'll attract an even larger thing towards us.
I will say that if we encounter the dragon, we should spread out a little bit.
So there are more sharks in the area, and they though if you keep together, they are certainly they keep away enough, but they're curious as to what you are. They haven't seen you before.
I'm giving each and every one of them a dirty look. Just holding my dagger up.
And some will come in close and then just come out and they'll inspect and then they'll dart back out. And the intimidation is working. The tactics working. You see as you move through the area, treasure chests that have been dumped off the side of the ships, and cargo as well that are sitting there on the floor of the ocean. they're sitting right on the edge of what looks to be a dark crevice. There just is darkness and nothingness below. And you see scatterings in the sand, in the ocean floor, of gold and goblets and things like that have just been thrown overboard over many years. Most of it have gone down the crevice. But there's some that have just missed or hasn't been scooped in.
It's
something.
been scooped now.
I do
So-
see that one shark. I'm gonna try something. I signal to one of you. I'm gonna go back into my human form or hold on. Let me see if I can even cast it. Never mind.
Do you have water breathing in your human form?
Oh,
You're underwater, quite deep.
Yeah, it's vocal. I can't do it.
I
'Cause I was
also-
gonna speak with animals, but I couldn't do it beforehand either because it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask one of the sharks if they'd seen anything, but I can't do it.
You're
So we'll just
also
have to keep meandering around.
yes, you're also quite deep and can't breathe underwater. As a
And
heads
there's
up.
gold and
Not
goblets.
So are you just looting and searching?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for this dragon.
Oh, I thought that wasn't going to be an issue. Damn. Thought
No,
nobody
Castle
was.
still has the goal in mind.
Whoa. And that's why Castle is the leader, always on mission, compared to the others who are just scooping up stuff.
We are easily distracted by gold, goblets, beer, or food.
Well, there's no food, there's no beer, but there's crates and casks of things that have been thrown overboard as donations. I'll give you a number of like coins that you can scoop up, and it's not easy because it starts scooping up from the bottom, then it just like mist comes up here as you start disturbing the bottom, and things go a lot harder. As Dandelion swims across the fissure, you just feel that sickness overcome you, and it just feels like there's something below, something very powerful, something very old, and you don't feel like being out in that gap.
Alright. I'm going to just make like some sort of reconnaissance just to see if I can see if there's a dragon nearby, since I can't ask the sharks. And I'm just gonna like slowly make like a larger circle each time until like I find
Yep.
something. If I don't, I'll just come back to them.
Yep. You see the sharks. They move on. They move off, and they seem like they're bored with you after a while. And I don't know what your vision
hello.
range is.
Oh, yep, I can see it now.
Something.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know what your vision range is, but I know what my vision range is.
We see it.
Yep. Okay.
yeah.
You see, what you see is a large dragon swimming from, like, he's trying to be careful. He's trying to be sneaky, but it's very hard to be sneaky when you're a large dragon. And he's trying to circle around and look at you, and he seems inquisitive of the light sources that you're using, and like your beacon in the darkness right now. You'll be seen for a long while away, because you're a light source under the water. And he looks at you and he comes up really close, and he seems to like snarl and then skittle off.
You give chase.
I'm just gonna try to snarl back. Just bubbles come out.
Let's go talk to him. Hello, dragon.
We're probably gonna have to do this telepathically.
Yeah. So this occurs.
Silent speech. You can speak telepathically with any creature within 30 feet of you. Creature understands,
Hi,
yeah.
Mr. Dragon. Can we talk for a second?
Are you stealing my treasure?
Is that your treasure? We didn't know.
I found
And
it first.
I-
It's mine. The people, they keep on giving it to me. So it's all mine.
Okay. Hey, Castle.
I imagine I've been listening to this.
No,
Yep.
it would be one way, but then you would hear in your head,
Yeah.
Hey, Castle.
Okay. Yes.
The dragon says the treasure belongs to him. I
Maybe you
think we should give him the treasure and ask him to leave.
That sounds like a great idea. Giving the treasure back sounds like a step of good faith.
I came up with a great idea.
This is
Have I
all
done
going to
that
be
many-
one-way conversations. Everything here. Silent speech.
So Bella's still
So-
looking at the treasure.
Bella's still collecting treasure and stowing up the silt. Dandelion is still swimming around as a shark.
Yep.
And like the dragon's looking at Bella and looking.
All right.
So
I'll-
I will communicate with Bella, saying,
Yep.
right now you got to stop taking treasure. Hold off.
Stay the suit down. Stay the suit.
I'll go ahead and contact the dragon, and I'll say,
Yeah,
Young-
you know it must be serious.
young dragon, can I have your name?
Young? Young dragon? What do you mean by young dragon? I'm a magnificent species. Magnificent version of my species. I am far older than you. Far more magnificent than you. Call me
True
young.
on both counts.
And he starts
You are-
snarling.
Very correct on both counts. Could I have your name nonetheless?
I've got it here. Where have I written it down? I've always got notes. And of course, I've misplaced it in my notes. Oh, that's right. I've got it written on the map where we are. On the dragon itself. It was, where are we? There we go. There you go. I knew I needed it, so I put it somewhere which I thought I remember. He says, "My name is Zalafarm, the Omnipotent." And even though it's telepathic, you can just hear that pride and that ego and that yeah. And this is my domain. This is my horde. Those surface trolls know who I am, so they keep donating to me. They keep giving me gifts. Some of it falls away and I miss it, but I get some of it. It's mine now.
Zalafarm, then.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
I
young
have
child.
some
used to be my minion.
I don't think I ever was your minion, but I have unfortunate news for you.
You're no longer going to praise me.
I never said that. If
You are going
allow
to
me
praise me.
finish. Unfortunately, the people who continually drop treasure are not dropping
Yes, my
treasure
servants.
to you.
Of course they are. They know I'm here.
Well, your presence has been acknowledged by those who dwell above.
So, what you're missing on screen, because I was on the wrong screen, is Lucky slowly moving forward, a little bit of the time, while Trent's just like. So it was in 2 marks. It was. The dragon looks down, and is this another servant or is this food?
And you hear telepathically. He hears telepathically. I like you.
Serve it then. Okay, don't eat this one.
Okay. I touched the dragon! I touched the dragon! I touched the dragon!
Yes, you touched the magnificent Zelophan. I'll allow you to worship me.
Yay!
Well, Zelopharn, unfortunately, you may have to be worshipped somewhere else because.
But this is
there have
perfect. People just keep on throwing me money and gems and
they're not-
items.
Zelopharn, they're not throwing it to you.
Yes, I'm here. I have to sit here, and they keep on dropping it over their ships. Of course, it must be to me. There's no one else here.
Well,
They're throwing to the sharks.
they're not throwing it to the sharks. They're throwing it into the crevice, right?
Well, they do miss sometimes, and it goes into the crevice.
They miss sometimes, and it lands, and it ends up in your possession.
No, it's the opposite way. You just don't understand this. You don't understand how donations work.
Have you talked to the people living that are dropping the treasure?
I've tried to talk to them several times, but they all run and yell and scream, and some of them fall overboard, which is funny. But actually, I do tend to try to spook them sometimes. Usually at night when they've been drinking, they're the most fun. But they don't talk to me.
I understand that.
Maybe they're such in awe of my presence.
Zelopharn, here's the issue.
Yes, sorry.
They're actually making sacrifices to the evil god of the sea, Umberly, so that she doesn't allow krakens and other whatnot to rip apart their ships.
You almost hear him spit, or like, but you're underwater, so it's like you can't see. You can't like. There's no visible, but it's as if he just spat when you said the Umberly. It's like, why would they worship that when they could worship me? I'm much more magnificent. I'm right here. That's just someone that's just a magged up fantasy.
True on both counts.
Not
Umberly
like our
is
gods.
definitely
Our gods
not
are real.
She's a very
Damn it.
horrible god.
Damn it.
But either way, they're not. It is. I am being
Made
objective here, and they
all
are
made
not.
up.
They're not worshiping you. They're trying
Of course
to
they're worshipping me.
save their lives. Unfortunately, you don't. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you do not have a following here, outside of the sharks that are, maybe even if you can even call them servants.
But these
Outside of that,
little
I don't
ones, they'll grow my following. They follow me. They'll be my servants. They'll be my servants on the land.
They.
I can't get into the
Sure.
city, but they can spread my word. More money will be thrown to me.
Yeah. Here's the deal. We'll cut to the chase.
Deals.
Mhm.
And he brings his claws up.
Yeah.
I like deals. My parents told me to make deals with underlings like you. What are the conditions?
So here's the deal: is that you have been very disruptive to the life of us mere mortals above ground.
I'm just playing.
And either way, they're not very happy, and some of the more
But they get to see my magnificence. Of course they will
some
be
of the
happy.
more powerful mortals do not appreciate your presence here, and they have tasked us to come down here and politely ask your magnificence to leave.
Well, at least you acknowledge my magnificence finally.
Yep. I mean,
This is my domain now. I have moved here. People give me money. I'm still scouting out the location.
I'm trying to help you out here, because if you're down here for too much longer and we can't get you to leave, then the servants of Umberly are going to attempt to release
So the fake cult.
some.
Umberly's not a real thing.
They're
not real like
wish that
Tiamat or Bahamut.
I wish that were true, but they're going to release some eldritch abomination upon you, God knows what.
Get with his
And
fake
then
gods. Worship real things like me.
I love this dragon.
Dandelion will nudge Cassiel because clearly something's going on and they can't hear
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna nudge Cassiel so he can connect to them.
Yeah, like I went up to him. I'm just gonna like pull out his clothes.
Yeah, all right.
Raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, because we don't know what's going on.
No.
I'll start messaging people, and I'll let them know kind of what's happening and his general demeanor, and I'm trying to convince him, but I'll just kind of catch you guys up real quick.
Okay.
How does he
kinda-
feel about the rift?
I will actually message the dragon.
I'll kind of like look at.
What can we offer you to make you go away?
Go away from the rift. The rift is the problem. It's creepy and weird.
Are
Right?
you able to say
Let's see if
this?
he can sense that.
Yeah, well.
Are you able to actually no? Is
I can't.
Dandelion?
I'm trying to
No.
like message to Cassiel, but they can only hear whenever they tune into me. So I just keep repeating it in my head. It's like somebody pay attention to me.
You need
It's always
to go
frustrating being an
away.
animal and not being
from
able
the
to
rift.
talk.
Hey,
What can we do to make you go away from the rift? We don't want you to be hurt.
You can let me into the city. Can you let me into the city? There'll be much more riches there. I could find a nice lair to sit down in, and people could donate to me openly. A shrine. I hear the younger races like doing shrines and temples. I would like a shrine. Can I have a shrine? You could make a shrine to me. There's one over there, there's one over there up on the bluff here, which would be perfect. It's a bit dark, but you could attach some colourful bronze scaling to. Lighten up the place.
I know that people generally like good dragons, and you're a good dragon.
Of course, I'm the most magnificent dragon.
I don't know. Maybe they would.
How many dragons have you met?
But here's
How many
my
dragons
concern.
have you met?
You're the only dragon
And
I've
I'm the
ever
most
met.
magnificent dragon you've ever met. Exactly.
And I touched you.
I know. And I didn't even eat you.
Yeah, that was very nice. Because even the shark I tried to eat me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But
My shark's a bit of a peasant.
Here's the thing. Those bad priests of Umberly, they can summon creatures that are very bad, like a leviathan. And a leviathan would attack you and hurt you, and we don't want you to be hurt. That's not fair. You're a good dragon.
Does my servant... Do you doubt my power?
Could you
To these
kill a leviathan?
cultists? To these
can
cultists
kill-
that worship a false god?
Oh, they're awful. But are you saying you could kill the leviathan?
Of course I can.
Yes.
I'm magnificent. I'm the best of my species. The
Oh,
oldest of my species.
Maybe that's a good idea.
I'm gonna message.
I messaged Castle. I'm like,
There we go.
maybe the dragon could beat the Leviathan.
It's just there's probably like 5 seconds of just silence,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then no, no,
No,
that will never happen.
Oh, I didn't think he was as big as some dragons I've heard of.
He is definitely on the younger side.
I think he might be mistaken.
He is most certainly mistaken.
Should we try to trick him?
I wanna just-
I'm okay with that. I'm kind of running out of ideas here.
What if we told him that somewhere else he would get even more sacrifices?
Yeah, we could send him up.
What? Hey, Bella!
All right. Are you just yanking on my tunic or something? What do you do? Oh, okay.
As you're
Bella.
tugging, you see
It's a strange motion.
you see a chest start drifting down, and the bubbles coming out of the chest as it starts sinking, and the dragon goes, "Oh, one of mine!" and he starts swimming off quickly.
All right. I'll message Bella.
You want me to stab him?
No, this would turn out very poorly if you did.
The dragon swims off out of view with a flurry of water.
I think we should tell the dragon that there's somewhere else where he'll get even more riches from the people. And maybe there is a place. Maybe we don't even have to trick him. Because he's a dragon.
Question about the timeline of this so far. I don't know how much you know about the Forgotten Realms. I know very little, but I do know that Neverwinter was a very prosperous city until some pretty bad things happened. There's like a lava explosion or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is this happening before or after the lava explosion?
My knowledge of Forgotten Realms is from mostly 2nd edition. So I still think it's Kelwyn Blackstaff, not Vajra Blackstaff. That's just what I grew up with and what I've always done. There's been a lot of editions which I haven't been as knowledgeable about the differences, about the changes to the realms. So if that's what's happened, then that's what's happened. Apparently, it's been lava explosioned.
Sure. From what I've heard is there was a pyroclast. There was some lava that came in and ruined the town, and then there were some like eldritch abominations that came and ruined the town.
What
they're
fun!
on the up
Like
and
it
up.
was the whole thing of the dwarves finding their ancient kingdom, Gauntlgrim, and inside Gauntlgrim is a fire primordial titan, and that's what erupted, awakening that exploded the volcano and killed nearly all of Neverwinter.
Sounds like a party.
This is either what I assume this is a copper dragon, because it's surviving underwater.
Bronze.
Is it bronze? Okay, so it's a bronze dragon.
Can do water breathing and swimming.
So it's a bronze dragon. So it's a good aligned dragon, large size. My guess is no matter what city it went to, if it revealed itself, it would get lots of gold. I mean, because it's a large size, good aligned dragon. People are going to worship it, right? So it's really just a matter of giving it another place to go. In fact, it might not even be a bad idea to have it go up to Waterdeep, and I'm sure that it would probably be fairly well received. I mean, it's a metallic dragon, right?
You were told that there's a barrier. It can't get in.
But even outside the city, right?
Well, you are outside the city.
Also, aren't we being paid to get this guy out of the bay and away from Neverwinter, or just out of the bay?
Well, we're in Waterdeep, not Neverwinter.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I don't know what I said.
Yes, sir. So we both just
Sure.
Yep.
Were they aware that the dragon was
we need to get him out of the bay. Yes.
Okay, so if we just need to get him out of the bay,
Park him in front.
We could.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good aligned metallic dragon. I gotta think that, I mean, in Waterdeep you have, not only do you have Blackstaff, you have the Silver Hands. I mean, there are very, very powerful good creatures and heroes here who would I think be pretty good at dealing with a dragon, right? That's metallic. I think I don't know, but
the dragon swims back and he's got a chest in his claws. It's like another donation, and he seems quite happy. You got to catch them before they fall into the rift. So,
all right.
What we were talking about? That's right. Worship.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out where you would be worshipped even more. And there's lots of places. We can't think of how many places that would be so happy to have you nearby. One of them is Waterdeep, but we're not sure that's the most yet. We're talking about it.
I can't get into Waterdeep. Can you ask?
No, but well, we could ask, but we're talking about it right now. Maybe there's even places. Waterdeep isn't even the biggest place ever. There's places in like Kalimshan that are really, really big.
Oh, but my parents told us stories of Waterdeep saying that was the biggest, so I thought, well, the most magnificent dragon should go to the biggest city to be worshipped the most. And here I am. And it works out so far. I don't have to do much.
The biggest problem is you're underwater.
It is
So
true.
no one even knows who you are. They just know there's a dragon under here.
And they keep on giving me money, so I don't have to do too much.
Let me tell you what we were told. I'm just going to tell you what we know. We were told that there was a troublesome dragon, and they were trying to make sacrifices to Umberlee, and this dragon kept coming in the way and causing problems. And they asked us to come and ask you to leave. That's where you are right now. And that's sad because you're such a magnificent dragon.
I am.
And they don't even know.
And Umberlee doesn't exist. It's fake. It's like...
But this living underwater isn't working because they don't even be able to talk to you. So they don't even know what a wonderful dragon you are.
So you're saying I should go out of the water and you'll build a temple for me?
Well,
A shrine?
we would try. We don't run Waterdeep, but we like you.
Well, of course you like me. I'm magnificent. And you're my
So-
servants.
Yeah, that's right. So we would try to help if we could. We don't run Waterdeep. We can't tell you what they would do.
But you'll build a shrine because you're my servants.
Well, we could start building a shrine, but we're not very rich.
His claw comes up
and
and scratches...
And as we're talking, I'm relaying the messages to Castle as to what is going on in the conversation.
Okay.
His claw comes up and
You know-
scratches what would be a goatee or beard. As in his
I
thinking.
do have an idea on how we could get some serious coin. We've been promised a large sum of money if you are to leave this bay. And perhaps we could use that money to begin building your shrine. Instead of bothering the sailors all the time, you could temporarily move your lair for perhaps a couple 10 days. Still drop by here, pick up the loot that they managed to land here on the side instead of accidentally dropping into those.
But I've got to
the
be
cavern.
here to catch it if it does, so it doesn't fall. And he's got the claw in his hand with like another chest.
Well, you see, I guess then you're gonna have to make a choice because if you leave here for a few days, we can get paid and we can use that money to start building you a shrine so that people can start worshiping you.
Persuasion check, I would say.
Would Lucky count as helping that or no?
I can't because
That's
it
fine.
would require a verbal component.
I have inspiration. Never mind.
Let's switch across here. Okay, so persuading a dragon. It's always an opposed check. So I'm just gonna roll flat and see how it goes. Okay, even with modifiers. A 7 on dice, and you have got a good argument. And you're talking about building him a shrine to worship, which is what he wants. And he agrees. He does agree to leave for you to build a shrine, and he does make sure that you understand like the omnipotent. Like,
Yep, he is the shit.
yeah, Zelafam, the magnificent, the omnipotent. Yes.
Okay.
And donations can be left there, and I'll go and collect them.
Yep. We'll probably take down the title that he'll want for the shrine.
Well, that's what he
There you
says
go.
for Zelafam, the omnipotent.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down in my notes.
There.
Okay.
There you go. Copy and paste it. Easy. Okay, so that turned out differently than I thought.
I guess we're dragon worshippers now.
So let's go into the Horde of the Dragon Queen, and we'll move that direction. Just give me a week, and I'll get that campaign up and running, and we'll move that direction. Okay.
I've run that campaign, and the metallic dragons are your allies.
I've been a little bit in that campaign and died quite hardly. No, actually, almost had a party die. But anyway, so you think that you're starting to have issues with your breathing, with the potions. You've been down for quite a while,
Okay.
and you think it may be time to get back to the surface.
Well, we've done what we're supposed to do, so I think that's exactly what we're going to do.
As you start,
Yeah.
and you start going up from the surface, and when you surface, Ursma is attacked by a dog, and no. As you surface, you essentially in the middle of the harbour of the bay. It's dark. It's nightfall. It's still early night, but it's nightfall, and you're essentially just floating out in the middle of the bay with a shark on a rope.
So what'd you guys tell us?
We're going to build him a shrine with our reward.
What?
Yeah, isn't that great? And there'll be a shrine to Zillafar the Omnipotent. And I think lots of people in Waterdeep will be very happy because he's a nice dragon.
But what about our Harbor Moon?
I don't think. I mean, we'll have to get some estimates, but I don't think it'll take all of the cash.
What was the point?
Besides, what's the... What do you mean, what was the point?
What was the point of going down there if we don't get to keep the Harbor
Because
Moon?
they told us to. And they said, ask the dragon to leave, and then we went down and we made friends with the dragon.
Think of it this way, Bella.
It'll all work out in the best.
If we complete this job and we succeed, they'll think of us more highly. And if they think of us more highly, they will give us bigger, better paying jobs in the future so we can make even more coin. It's an investment in the future of your adventuring career.
And we have a bronze dragon who's our friend.
I will just point out that Bella's working for a group which has not paid her, ever.
Their payment is keeping her alive by not killing her.
I mean, they got her out of jail. They threatened if you don't do this or if you fail, they'll kill you, basically.
There wasn't really much of a threat. You may have just taken it as that.
You.
Yeah. You may have just taken it as a threat.
Everything we've done so far has worked out well. I can't see why that would stop.
I won.
Besides, how many Harbor Moons are we going to earn with our amazing tavern?
Which we could name after the dragon. Maybe our tavern is the shrine. We just gotta figure out how to get him in the city. I mean, we're already working towards making that better, so just name it after the dragon. And
Not sure how
the
we would get him
details
in the
later.
city.
I'm sure it's just a simple dimension door would do just fine.
Are you sure?
I know it won't.
A simple dimension door?
I actually know how, and there's only one way how.
Through the sewers.
Thunder Mountain.
Magical barrier.
Probably a wish spell.
You just don't go under a magical. Anyway, um, so as you're going through, you essentially have to go through the south gate. Nick, Dandelion members. Well, I did suggest having dinner with someone out in the harbour. It's early nightfall.
Could send a message with my animal messenger.
Could be done. Just saying, you in the area? It's early nightfall. You've been out for most of the day. Although 2 people had a big lunch.
Is it around dinner time?
It's early night, as in it's just turned night. So
Any
turn
time
over
is
to,
dinner time.
Everyone else is like, hey, remember that time when I told you that we could go meet my former boss and ask him about the nibble right? Maybe he could help us with this dragon thing. And or just treat us to dinner.
Okay.
Awesome. I go send the 25-word message that sums that up. And then I tie in some little notes on the foot too. Or no, that would be the wrong one. Never mind. I do notes, but like it's a little drawing of like the dragon and then a nibble right and stuff.
And also probably the note of the Black Network person in.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that's the only thing new. Since the last one, I think. So you know where the 2 ships are docked, and you approach the 2 ships, and the 2 ships are the exact same ships that the other people, that everyone else essentially broke into, subtly. And you're welcomed aboard, and they said, "Oh, you've been asked to go to the flagship for dinner." Mr. Zord would like to meet your new friends, the owner of the company, and so they bring out a dinghy, a large dinghy at that, off the side of one of the ships, and you're ferried out into the Great Harbour, where a very large flagship galleon sits in the harbour. It's quite impressive. There's lights like on all of the rigging and bell deck, and it is very, very. It's probably one of the larger of the ships in the entire harbour. The Hellraiser and Heartbreaker were again quite significant in size. This is even bigger, even more impressive. And as you get closer, you see on the side the eye catcher. And this is the flagship.
He likes to party.
Yeah, this is the flagship of the Maiden's Fair. You're welcomed aboard by some of the crew. The crew are all human, very well dressed. They don't act like sailors. They act very professional. And you're shown to a very large dining hall with the captain's cabin. And this is something that I was setting up earlier, because, well, why not? Well, I think why not, yeah. So I'll describe the room as you enter the captain's cabin and dining hall. So you see paintings throughout on the walls, looks like velveteen almost, and very, very opulent. Not blinds, but curtains over the windows. All the wood has scroll work along it, very finely made. There's candles on elaborate candelabras on the walls and on the table. The table is a long oaken, beautifully made table with etchings and scroll work on it as well. Each of the chair is well made, with again, very finely crafted. The food and table is just abundant with fresh food. And there's goblets, there's wine bottles, and there's even a decanter of water, because Dandelion is well known for the non-drinking. And there's a couple of servants dressed finely, two of which you recognise quite obviously as Nimblewrights. These are two female Nimblewrights, and they're dressed up quite opulently as well, nicely polished. And at the head of the table stands a dashing man, and here is a picture.
Official commissioned art they did, by the way.
This is an official
It
picture.
just didn't show up in the book.
Sir.
Hold on.
I think he
There's
forgot to
more.
get dressed.
There's more. I'm trying to find.
We don't want to see the rest.
I don't want to see that.
No.
Welcome aboard the
Bad.
Eyecatcher. Zarazord at your service.
And that's where we're going to end it.
Ugh, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Did I forget to mention my boss doesn't like to wear pants?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you did.
Nick, thank you so much for linking me this photo or this artwork. I love it. It's over the top, and it's actually perfect for the character. By the way, if you're captured when sneaking on those ships, this could have been the instance. This could have been what happened as well.
This is a horrible form of torture.
One thing I like is actually Karsh's last die roll is right above his hand, so it looks like he's throwing up a d20.
This is, as I said, this is official artwork, commissioned artwork, which is just amazing to have D&D Wizard of the Coast go, yep, let's do this. This character is over the top. He's amazing. He's just a bit of everything.
Is he amazing?
The artwork on the nipples is very precise.
It's very detailed.
So that's where we're going to end tonight. I do have to rush out. I know it's a little bit less time than normal. I do have to rush out and pick up my little goblin from school and get all that organised so that my alarm will go off in about 5 minutes anyway. And I thought that was the perfect time to end with Zorazord. Welcome to the Eyecatcher. Again, Nick, thank you. Thank you so
I'll
much.
say it's an eye catcher.
So we'll do our outros. I do have to. Can people remind me, because there's something I've been meaning to do for like now we've got like everyone but Bozo has stuff that they're doing, and Bozo, you need to do something so we can do shout outs and whatnot. I need to start linking people's Twitter as well and have that on their place. Please just annoy me during the week so I can actually get around to doing it. I keep on forgetting. I haven't been well of late, but yes. So we'll start with Nick. Thank you so much for the artwork. Do your shout out and what are you doing? Where can people find you? What do you do?
I was trying to find the name of the link for the artist who did that because I found it on Twitter when they were doing like art for Waterdeep. But you can find me on Twitter at fartsomart. I am following the pub draw thing, so like where they do the weekly like tutorial on how to draw everything. If you guys want to tag me in your artwork so I can look at all your artwork and follow too, because like they also opened up a new Reddit thing, so you can post up all your art on Reddit. I've been posting tutorials on Reddit, like just a huge list of links to tutorials, different tutorials that I've been doing to help out people. But other than that, I will post in the chat once I find the name of the artist who did that commissioned work.
Yep. I'm trying to search now because he sent me in a private message in Roll20, but private messages are really hard to get up in Roll20 once they're done. So it's, yeah. So yeah, I want to see some of your work too. More of your work, always good. So for Ursame,
Hi, you can find me at Ursame1 at Twitter, where I do art and stuff.
okay.
I mean,
I'll think a bit more.
I post art there.
And I'm trying to recommend you to other artists, like other role players and whatnot, because I've seen your artwork. It's great. She did.
Thanks.
Ursame did our new emote. So if you subscribe to the channel and see our new emote, our goblin, like our crash goblin, our goblin driver. Just spend a little bit there. We've got another emote which is awaiting approval, which is the goblin with his steering wheel. That's for the higher level subscriptions. You'll be able to get both once the other one is activated, I hope. Tree and Monk, where can people find you? What do you do on the internet?
Well, you can find me in all kinds of places, but you can check me out on WordPress at Tree Monk. You can find me at YouTube on Tree Monk's Temple, or you can find me on Twitter at Chris Honkla. And I'd like to talk about D&D and talk about how to play it within the rules.
Okay. So I like to play outside the rules, but that's a different thing. Well, rules are just guidelines, like the Pirate's Code. Bozo, do you have anything are we going to see what's going to happen with this smoked fish?
With this plan, just plan number 1 has been completed this session.
Okay.
Prepare yourself for plan number 2, though.
Okay. I don't know where these are going at all. I really don't.
He puts up with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
If he has some eccentricities, we're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to see. As a GM, I'm actually really interested because I know most things that are going on except for what you guys are going to do. So almost everything you do is a surprise. So if you come up with a plan where I've got no idea, I can see all the steps you're doing, I just don't pick it up. I don't know what's going on. And I think it's really fun as a GM. That's why as a GM, I don't always read a whole detailed backstory for characters when I'm GMing. All I need to know is the cliff notes. That way, when things come out or if you have to change things, it's okay as long as the core concepts don't change too much. I really like being surprised. Just like if I'm watching, I like that surprise of, because I'm watching as well. I'm watching live. I get the live feed here, not the other feed here, and sometimes I screw up both. Like with Chris going closer and closer and closer to the dragon while doing this, and his tokens getting closer and closer and closer to the dragon. So very well done. And so that's pretty much everything. That's my alarm going off, so you can catch us for hello. I know who that is. I know who Canary is. That's Zozord. Yep. That reminds me. That really does remind me to get things done. Can everybody? I think Ursame's okay, but can everybody jump into Twitch so I can give the a subscription to everyone?
I have one already.
You've got one already? I think you came in on the weekend. So last Friday, the channel had its 1 year birthday, and as a gift to pretty much our longest running, or to our cast members that have been here for a long time, there you go. There you go, Canary. You have a subscription to the channel for a month. So pretty much everyone that's like a longer running cast member or doing stuff for the channel, just as a thank you, I wanted to give the Twitch subscription just for the month at least, because the channel is a part, like I can only do what I do, but without cast members, without everyone here, and for all the other shows we do, I'm nothing. So to me, it's really important to have everybody, like, to give back a little bit to everybody. So is that everybody? I think. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, and strangely enough, our first subscription was actually potatoes. But that was a gift subscription as well, because she used to turn up to every single of the Rusty Daggers games every week. So it was great to see her in channel every week. So yeah, you can see us with the Rusty Daggers later in the week. We're going to try to do maybe some more sim racing for Friday Night Racing Club. We've got more projects on the way. We've got a mega dungeon, or kind of half mega dungeon, coming up, where I'm trying to kill the players, which should be fun. It's going to be a very dangerous one. I've upped all the health of everybody, and everyone's going to be really dangerous. I've got Weeby Goblins, hopefully people are signing up for that. And we've got a few other projects in the background, as always. So I think that's everything. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. There's your little goblin. There it is. It's cute. It's really cute.
So neat to see my drum like that.
And your first ever commissioned emotes. They came out really well.
Well, thank you.
I think they came out really well. It's hard to get a picture and then scale it down to 28 pixels. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was my first commission ever, not just emotes, but
First commission, okay. I'm very proud to be your first commissioner. So you could always try to do Zora Zord for your next emote. Clothes optional. I'll let you choose, maybe. Just make sure the hat stays. The hat and the feather.
That's very important.
Hat and the feather is very important with the mustache. Gotta love the mustache. So we're gonna head off. Catch us for other stuff. You can always check out our YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can always subscribe to the YouTube, and you can also click on. You can talk there. You can chat. There's a few of us who do check it and are active in there as well. If you dislike the video, you can still press like. It's okay. It makes us happy. If you still press like, please click like. And you can also follow us and subscribe and everything else on the Twitch TV. Our Discord's down below in the Twitch area. Have a great day. Enjoy role playing. It's just fun. It's for everybody. It's stealing Chris's. Role playing's for everybody. Enjoy being something different or being who you want to be. So, bye for now.